Chapter 108. Zhang Yundong and his son both looked at Wang Zhong in surprise. You are the son of shopkeeper Zhao, right? How did you learn to feel the pulse? Zhang Yundong asked. That's right. I've heard about your son, so I'm very curious. What's the pulse of a short-lived person like? Wang Zhong said calmly. You are such an interesting kid. Zhang Yundong smiled bitterly. But there is no need. My son has never been sick since he was a child. His body has always been healthy. Besides, the low grade of the spirit root is not because of the body, but because of the talent. Zhang Yundong's words were the same as the others. Wang Zhong was not surprised. Without waiting for Zhang Liang to speak, he grabbed Zhang Liang's hand. Don't move, I may be able to save you. Zhang Liang did not move. He just ate with his left hand, and let Wang Zhong feel his pulse with his right hand. Wang Zhong felt Zhang Liang's pulse. Suddenly his eyes focused. This pulse seems to be the pulse of pregnancy. Is he pregnant? No. Wang Zhong immediately shook his head. How could a little boy have a pulse of pregnancy? However, this pulse is very similar. It is as if something is hiding in Zhang Liang's body. In addition, Zhang Liang's pulse is really good. Not only that, his heartbeat is very fast and his pulse is solid. There are no signs of health, which is very consistent with the state of a young man. Zhang Liang's body temperature is also not a problem. He is very healthy. Wang Zhong found it hard to imagine how such a healthy person could die. Could it be that the low grade of the spirit root is related to the pulse of pregnancy? Wang Zhong thought in his heart. Xiaodong, your father wants you to eat. At this time, Lin Prefecture came over and picked up Zhao Xiaodong. He smiled at Zhang Yundong and his son and said, Sorry, I will take Xiaodong and leave first. It's fine, it's fine. The faces of Zhang Yundong and his son instantly darkened. In fact, they all knew that it was nothing more than seeing Zhao Xiaodong approaching them. So they came over to carry Wang Zhong away. Xiaodong, why are you sitting with Zhang Liang? What if he passes on something bad to you? As soon as they arrived, Lin Prefecture began to educate them. Zhao Dahai, who was drinking with others, became anxious when he heard this. Xiaodong, are you trying to scare your father to death? You're not allowed to go out in the future. The people at the table also warned Wang Zhong not to sit with people with short lifespans. The banquet was almost finished. Wang Zhong saw that Zhang Yundong and his son had already left. Zhao Dahai had eaten his fill and left with Wang Zhong and Wei Yin. When he opened the door, it was already pitch black outside. Son, don't be afraid. You're a grown-up now. The spirit root in your body has already grown out. The evil things that bullied you when you were young won't dare to come near you anymore. Wei Yin comforted in a low voice. Father, mother, have you seen a spirit root before? Wang Zhong asked. No, but the master said that everyone has a spirit root. After the age of 3, the spirit root will grow out. But before that, if you don't have a spirit root, it's easy for evil things to get close to you. Zhao Dahai said. No wonder father and mother didn't let me go out when I was young. Well, it's for your own good. There were basically no people on the street. Wang Zhong was holding Wei Yan's hand. He looked at the dark surroundings and pondered. It's said that there are many evil things outside the city. But why aren't there many in the city? How did those masters do it? As he was talking, a black shadow appeared behind him. Evil thing? Wang Zhong, who had killed many people, didn't have any fear. Instead, he stared at the approaching thing. He wanted to figure out what it was. At this time, he saw Lin Wu and her parents walking over from afar. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. If he walked over like this, wouldn't he encounter the evil thing? He broke free from Wei Yan's hand and ran back. Hey son! Wei Yan suddenly became anxious. Wang Zhong shouted, Don't come over, don't come over. But it was too late. Lin Prefecture directly crashed into the black fog. Wang Zhong stared blankly. Then he realized that Lin Prefecture was fine. Hey Xiaodong. Lin Wu ran over. Xiaodong, why are you running around? This child, you scared me to death. Wei Yin also ran over. Lin Prefecture walked over and said, Xiaodong, what did you just say? Don't come over? Lin Shu, you didn't see anything in front of you? Wang Zhong asked in disbelief. The black fog just now seemed too weak, so it couldn't hurt Lin Shu at all. However, Lin Shu and the others couldn't see the black fog, which was a little strange. Child, What are you talking about? Lin Prefecture was puzzled. We walked over, but didn't see anything? Lin Wu looked curious. Wang Zhong frowned. The black fog just now was in front of him. He couldn't be wrong. However, Lin Wu and the others obviously didn't see it. This couldn't be fake. Then why? There was only one possibility. They couldn't see it. I can see evil things. Wang Zhong's heart skipped a beat. He remembered that when he was a child, he saw a pair of eyes through the crack in the door. It wasn't an accident. He had the ability to see evil things. It was just that he was always protected at home by his parents, so he rarely came into contact with it. This child is talking nonsense. Lalin will go first. Zhao Dahai said. Okay, take care. Little brother, goodbye. Lin Wu said sensibly. Goodbye. Wang Zhong was thinking about something as he responded. In the next few days, Wang Zhong began to test his ability to see evil things. He analyzed it. There were two possibilities for him to be able to see evil things. One was that he was born with a physique different from ordinary people. For example, he had ghost eyes, white eyes, kaleidoscope, so he could see evil things. The other possibility was the problem of spirit roots. His parents, Lin Wu, and the others all had high-grade spirit roots. Could it be that they couldn't see evil things, but his spirit roots were low, so he could see them? It was easy to verify which possibility. He just had to ask other people with low-grade spirit roots. However, he was too young now. His parents didn't let him go out, so there was nothing he could do. Therefore, Wang Zhong began to think about how to deal with evil things. Wang Zhong thought of a lot of things based on the movies and TV series he had watched before. Boy urine, chicken blood, dog blood, glutinous rice. These things were secretly hidden in a small wine bottle. In the blink of an eye, another year passed. This year, Wang Zhong was 5 years old. Logically speaking, this was the year he should be tested for his spirit roots. However, his family was rich. In order to let him test for a high-grade spirit root, Zhao Dahai put in a lot of effort. He gave the city lord 200 taels of silver. In the end, the city lord reluctantly let Wang Zhong take the test when he was 7 years old. Son, father paid 200 taels of silver. When the time comes, you have to make me proud and test for a grade 8 spirit root. When the time comes, I'll let you go to the master's side to be apprenticed. At night, Zhao Dahai laughed. Wang Zhong sighed in his heart. How would his father know that when the time comes, he would only test for a grade 2 spirit root? Of course, he didn't say this. Instead, he said, Father, mother, I'm already grown up. Let me live alone in the future. He did this to make it easier for him to move around at night. Zhao Dahai frowned and said, Live alone? Yes, so as not to make it inconvenient for you. Wang Zhong could only say this. Zhao Dahai looked embarrassed. Child, you know a lot at such a young age. Alright, from today onwards, you will live next door to me. If you need anything, you can call me immediately. Got it? From today onwards, he would finally live alone. By the way, father, I'm quite interested in Buddhism and Taoism. However, I don't see these things in your study room. Why is that? Wang Zhong thought about it. Although he had collected a lot of boys' urine, dog's blood and chicken's blood, when dealing with evil, the most important thing was still Buddhism and Taoism. It would be best if he could get some golden Buddha and Taoist scriptures, so that he could be prepared. Where did you hear about these things? Zhao Dahai raised his eyebrows. I heard from a child. It is said that things related to Buddhism and Taoism can be used to deal with evil. It can be used to deal with evil, but both Buddhism and Taoism have declined. Look at how you usually don't see those people. Then aren't Master White and Master Wu Taoist priests? Wang Zhong asked. Of course not. They are great masters. We like to call them cultivators. I see. Wang Zhong raised his head and asked the most important thing. Is there a temple or a Taoist temple in the city? Chapter 109. All these years, although Wang Zhong did not go far in Snow City, he did not see a single temple or Taoist temple near his house. This did not make sense, so in order to find out, Wang Zhong decided to ask all at once tonight. There are none in the city, but there are some outside the city, but no one dares to leave the city now. Only some merchants or bodyguards would take the risk to make a living. Following that, Wang Zhong asked many more questions, most of which were about matters outside the city. Because Wang Zhong was now an adult, Zhao Dehai did not mince his words and said a lot. And tonight, Wang Zhong truly understood that demons were rampant in this world, and the only ones who could fight against them were cultivators like Master White and Master Wu. As for Buddhism and Taoism, very few people had seen them. Even the temples and Taoist temples outside the city had been completely abandoned. Wang Zhong did not know what was going on, but he knew that there must be something hidden. At night, Wang Zhong pretended to be asleep. In the middle of the night, he quietly got up and walked out with all the things he had prepared to deal with evil beings. He knew that this was very dangerous, but he could not think of any other way. To him, the people in this world were like cattle and sheep waiting to be slaughtered. They did not know any way to protect themselves from evil beings. So in order to save himself, he could only fumble around on his own. His courtyard was still very safe. Wang Zhong quietly walked to the door and looked out through the crack in the door where he saw evil beings when he was young. It was very quiet, and there was no black fog, which meant that there were no monsters outside. Shaking his head, Wang Zhong walked towards the haunted house behind him. In the dark environment, only the rustling of leaves could be heard. No! Suddenly, a resentful voice came to his ears. Although there was no one, he did hear the voice. This voice seemed to come from the haunted house. Evil beings are luring me? Wang Zhong walked towards the source of the voice. He seemed to be defenseless, but with the boy's urine in his left hand and chicken blood and dog's blood in his right, he was already prepared. The sound became clearer and clearer. Wang Zhong confirmed that the sound came from the abandoned old house. I remember father and mother repeatedly told me not to go there. At the beginning of this year, they told me that there was an evil spirit in that house. Now it seems that there really is one. Wang Zhong was not afraid at all. Instead, he was overjoyed. This house had been haunted for many years, but there had never been a murder case. In other words, the evil spirit inside was not strong, and he could go there to practice. When he reached the door, the temperature was a little cooler, but the sound was louder. Wang Zhong looked in through the crack in the door. Sure enough, there was a cloud of black fog floating inside. As expected, I can see unusual things. Wang Zhong touched the lock. The lock had long rusted. It seemed that it hadn't been opened for a while. He went to the window, and because he was short, he carried a stone and climbed up. He leaned against the window. The windows of this ancient era were made of oiled paper. After the paper was soaked in oil, not only was it tough, but it was also waterproof. Its transparency was also greatly enhanced and lasted for a long time. This oiled paper was not something that could be broken by a little saliva from a TV drama. Wang Zhong still found a wooden stick and poked it hard. As soon as he poked it, a cloud of black fog rushed over. I'm waiting for you. Wang Zhong directly sprinkled his chicken blood over, but the black fog still rushed over. When he saw it clearly, it was a human face rushing over. Wang Zhong fell to the ground in a panic. However, the black fog seemed to be sealed in the house and couldn't escape at all. Chicken blood is useless. Wang Zhong got up and was about to stand up again. Little brother. At this time, a beautiful girl called out. Wang Zhong turned his head and saw a girl dressed as a maid looking at him from the corner. Don't climb up. Be careful not to fall. Is that so? Why are you here? I haven't seen you before, Wang Zhong said. I'm new. Your parents might not have told you. I see. Do you want to go in? What do you mean? Master and Madam said that no one is allowed to enter the house. You'd better leave. The girl smiled. Wang Zhong also smiled and splashed the black dog blood over without hesitation. Whoosh! The girl suddenly disappeared. In the next instant, she was already in front of Wang Zhong, choking him with a death grip. Black dog blood is useless. Wang Zhong made up his mind and splashed the boy's urine over. Sizzle! Something unexpected happened. As the boy's urine rushed over, the girl in front of him emitted white smoke. It was a bit like meat being roasted. Wang Zhong's heart leaped with joy. This toy was useful. The girl in front of him was obviously a female evil creature who had been dead for God knows how many years. After being attacked by the boy's urine, her solid body quickly became illusory and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Did she enter the house? Wang Zhong touched his chin. He was thinking if he had the ability to deal with her if she entered the house. At present, this evil creature didn't seem to be very powerful. Although the boy's urine couldn't destroy her, she couldn't deal with him either. Moreover, from the looks of it just now, this evil creature was obviously seriously injured. I don't have any more boy's urine. Forget it, I'll think about it tomorrow. After returning, Wang Zhong fell into a deep sleep. He woke up early in the morning and began to practice his martial arts in the house as usual. In this life, although he was dealing with evil creatures and his martial arts might be useless, Wang Zhong still practiced. It was always good to have one more skill. In the next few days, Wang Zhong either practiced martial arts or accumulated boy's urine. In order to urinate more, he drank water every day. On this day, the spirit root test began again this year. Countless people walked towards the square. As usual, Zhao Dahai carried Wang Zhong over to join in the fun. He walked with Lin Wu and her family. The adults were chatting, and the atmosphere was very lively. However, at this time, Lin Prefecture suddenly pointed to the front. Lao Zhang and his son. Look at their son. He's so pitiful. Isn't that so? Everyone shook their heads and sighed. They sighed for Zhang Yundong and his son. When they arrived at the square, Wang Zhong saw that the adults were chatting. He looked around and walked towards Zhang Yundong and his son. Currently, the only person he could come into contact with who had a short lifespan was Zhang Yundong's son, Zhang Liang. Therefore, he had to figure out Zhang Liang's situation. Why was his lifespan so short? In the square, the father and son stood alone. The people around them kept a distance from them, as if they were avoiding the plague. Uncle Zhang. Wang Zhong walked over. Xiaodong. Zhang Yundong frowned. If your father sees you coming, he'll beat you. I'm here to talk to brother Zhang Liang, Wang Zhong said bluntly. Talk to me? Zhang Liang was stunned for a moment. You'd better stay away. I'm an unlucky person. Last time, a child came close to me and was slapped twice by his father. His face was swollen for a few days. I'll leave after saying a few words. Wang Zhong leaned over and whispered. I wonder if you've seen the black fog at night? What? Zhang Liang looked at Wang Zhong's young face in shock. Although Zhang Liang was young, because he was always said to be an unlucky person, he matured early and became sensible. Therefore, when he heard Wang Zhong's words, he was stunned, because he had seen the black fog before. Father, I didn't lie to you. I really saw the black fog. I didn't lie. Oh right, my brother saw it when he was alive too. Zhang Liang turned his head and said. Zhang Yundong's frown deepened. He didn't know how to answer. As for Wang Zhong, he suddenly understood. He found the reason why he could see the black fog. Just as he guessed, those with low-level spirit roots could see those evil things. This was also why other people couldn't see it. But he, Zhang Liang, and Zhang Liang's dead brother could see it. Chapter 110. You mean you can also see it? Zhang Liang no longer treated Wang Zhong as a child and asked seriously. Yes, I can see it. Well, Xiaodong, go back. If something happens to you, your father will blame me. Zhang Yundong glared at Wang Zhong with dissatisfaction and pulled Zhang Liang away. Things were clear, but unfortunately, Wang Zhong's mood became heavier. It was very simple. Zhang Liang could see evil things because of the low level of spirit root. But he could also see evil things. Although he had not tested his spirit root yet, he was sure that his spirit root must be low. How can I save myself? Late at night, Wang Zhong sat on the edge of the bed and looked at the full moon in the sky. The moon in this world was big and round, but the brightness was not very high. It was as if the moon was covered by shadows at night in this world, looking strange and cold. Thinking that his parents and servants were asleep, Wang Zhong walked out with the bronze sword in his hand, covered with boy's urine. This bronze sword was something he had begged Zhao Dahai to buy for him. Of course, the reason was not to fight, but to practice martial arts. Over the years, Zhao Dahai also found that his son was fond of martial arts. He often saw his son doing squats, kicks, and boxing, so he agreed to buy his son a sword. Coming to the haunted house, Wang Zhong took out the boy's urine and poured it on the sword. Although the smell was a bit unpleasant, there was no other way. Tonight he was going to meet that female ghost again. Before coming, he actually asked the housekeeper and the servant girl about the situation of this house. From them, he learned that this house had been here for some years, but they were afraid of the situation in the house and were unwilling to say more. Originally, he wanted to ask his parents about some things here, but when he mentioned this house, Zhao Dahai's face sank, and Wei Yin stopped him, telling him not to ask more. Wang Zhong stepped on the stone and opened the window. He had already destroyed this window during the day, so he could easily enter. I'd like to see what it is. A human face suddenly appeared from the window, and Wang Zhong stabbed it with his sword. Master, please spare my life. Suddenly, the girl knelt on the ground, trembling. This evil being seemed to be afraid, but Wang Zhong did not dare to let his guard down. He frowned and asked, "Who are you? Why are you harming people?" The girl glanced at Wang Zhong and suddenly turned into a black mist, hiding in the darkness. Wang Zhong was immediately amused. This evil creature probably didn't know that he could see evil creatures, and thought that it could hide. After some thought, he took out a stick of incense and spent some time outside to light it. For a moment, the small hut was illuminated red. When he saw the things in the house, he was stunned. Inside the house, there were two small tombs with the names of Zhao Dahai's wife, Huang Clan, and Zhao Dahai's daughter, Zhao Rong. My father's ex-wife and daughter. Wang Zhong was shocked. Now that the house was illuminated, Wang Zhong saw at a glance that there were two black mists, one big and one small, hidden behind the tombs. If you don't show yourself, I'll piss on you, Wang Zhong shouted. The two black mists trembled for a while, and then gradually appeared. Child, leave quickly. A middle-aged woman appeared and shouted anxiously. Next to her, a little girl gradually appeared and looked at Wang Zhong timidly. I'm asking you, why are you here? Wang Zhong raised his bronze sword. If you don't speak obediently, I'll kill you. Although the two in front of him were his former family, they were now ghosts, so Wang Zhong did not care. You are Dahai's son. Huang Clan hurriedly said. Go, you're a child, you can't come in, it's dangerous. Brother, be careful behind you. Zhao Rong knew Wang Zhong's identity and hurriedly shouted. Wang Zhong frowned. At this moment, a cold aura came from the back of his neck. He felt that the aura was tightly choking his neck, making him unable to move. There was another evil creature. Judging from the aura, the level of this evil creature was definitely higher than Huang Clan and Zhao Rong. What should I do? What should I do? Wang Zhong felt that he could not move. His eyelids were getting heavier and heavier, and breathing was getting more and more difficult. He could not even speak. My life is over. Wang Zhong closed his eyes, thinking that he was really going to die this time. At this moment, Zhao Rong and Huang Clan rushed over and bumped into Wang Zhong's back. Wang Zhong only felt that his body suddenly loosened, and the feeling of being restrained disappeared. This is a good chance. Although Wang Zhong was nervous, he immediately had a strong desire to survive. He turned his head and slashed with the bronze sword. Ah! The black fog screamed and was instantly cut in half. Two bitches, how dare you stop me? The black fog that was cut in half roared and frantically retreated. It gradually condensed into a man with a broken face. What are you? Wang Zhong held the urine bottle in one hand and the bronze sword in the other, and gradually retreated. He was not afraid now. Although this evil creature was strong, he had just received a blow from it, which showed that he could deal with it. He used to be Dahai's servant. He was beaten to death by Dahai for stealing property. I didn't expect that his soul would not go away, and has been hiding here, Huang Clan said while holding Zhao Rong. So it's my family's cheap slave. His hands and feet were not clean when he was alive. After death, he actually wanted to harm your master. Damn it! Wang Zhong did not hesitate to sprinkle the urine in his hand. Although this ghost slave looked ferocious, after seeing the urine, it was as if he had lost his soul. He screamed and ran away. Where are you going? He took out the urine bottle again and sprinkled it over. At the same time, the bronze sword slashed and completely blocked the evil creature's escape route. Zzz. In an instant, the evil creature's body emitted green smoke and screamed crazily. In order to prevent the evil creature from counterattacking, Wang Zhong sprinkled a lot of urine over it. The originally large mass of black fog was reduced to the size of a human head in a short time. Master, please spare my life. Master, please spare my life. If you continue to beat me, my soul will scatter. Finally, the evil creature begged for mercy. Wang Zhong's eyes flashed. Now that he wanted to figure out how to deal with evil creatures, he must have a test subject. Let him stay for a while. Tell me, why are you here? Why are you scaring my family? Wang Zhong said this sentence to all the evil creatures in the room. I am your father's first wife, Huang Clan said. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. Over the years, he also heard that his father actually had a wife before. But he didn't know why she died. How did you die? Why did you become like this? Wang Zhong asked. I am a short-lived person. I can't live past 30, Huang Clan said. As for my poor daughter. With that, she looked at the male ghost not far away. It was him who killed my daughter. The male ghost trembled. I was beaten to death by Zhao Dahai. When I was a child, I was playful. When I came here, I was killed by him. In order to save me, my mother was also killed by him. We have always been bullied by him. Zhao Rong looked at the male ghost with grievance. The reason why my mother and I scared you is that we didn't want you to come here and be killed by him. No wonder the last time he came here, Zhao Rong asked him to leave. It turned out that she wanted to save him. At this moment, Wang Zhong figured it out. The reason why this place was haunted was probably because of these 3 evil creatures. Master, I dare not do it again. In the future, I will not refuse to be an ox or a horse. Please let me go. The servant immediately knelt on the ground. Don't worry, I won't kill you, but you have to cooperate with me. The male ghost breathed a sigh of relief. I won't refuse, I won't refuse. Very good. Wang Zhong smiled. But this smile was incomparably terrifying to the male ghost. Okay, try the glutinous rice. Chapter 111. In order to test what could be used to deal with evil creatures, Wang Zhong had been looking for a lot of materials these days. In the end, he concluded that virgin urine worked well. Things like cinnabar, glutinous rice, chicken blood, and black dog blood were useless. After trying all these things, Wang Zhong began to think about how to get the golden Buddha, Taoist scriptures, and the like. He didn't know if these things were useful to deal with evil creatures, but he had to try. In the morning, Wang Zhong was holding a bronze sword and practicing swordsmanship in the yard. Whoosh, whoosh. Wang Zhong waved his sword faster and faster. A few thin leaves fell. Wang Zhong took the opportunity and slashed at them without hesitation. At this moment, Wang Zhong saw a translucent sword chi on the sword. Several thin leaves in front of him were instantly cut into pieces and drifted away with the wind. Sword chi. Seeing this, Wang Zhong was stunned. How can I cultivate sword chi? Wang Zhong had learned kung fu in various planes. For example, in the Great Celestial Empire, his kung fu could fight with several strong men for dozens of rounds. But no matter how powerful he was, this so-called sword chi did not appear. But it appeared in this plane. Strange, strange. After thinking about it, Wang Zhong punched at the small tree in front of him. Bang! His fist didn't touch the small tree, but the small tree made a cracking sound, and a crack appeared on it. I can easily cultivate such a force, but why can't others? As he was thinking, he saw Zhao Dahai and Wei Yin walking over. My son is really diligent. I heard you practicing swordsmanship early in the morning, but it's useless to learn kung fu. Don't hurt your body. Zhao Dahai said happily. Father, why do you say that kung fu is useless? Because no matter how strong kung fu is, it can't deal with evil creatures. Is that so? Originally, Wang Zhong also thought so, but after seeing his own strength, he felt that it was not the case. Of course, but my good son, you are quite similar to me in this aspect when I was young. When I was young, I was tested to have a level 7 spiritual root. Just like you, I practice swordsmanship and martial arts every day, hoping to learn something and become a disciple of a master. Unfortunately, after learning for several years, I still couldn't achieve the external release of chi that the masters talked about. Father, do you know anything about martial arts? At that time, your grandfather gave Master Gao a sum of money. I learned it for a few days, but unfortunately, I couldn't even learn a little bit of qi. Wang Zhong was puzzled. His father's spiritual root was at the 7th grade, but he didn't manage to learn even a little bit of energy. However, he was able to learn it easily. Could it be that learning was the opposite of learning? The lower the spirit root, the easier it would be to learn. The higher the spirit root, the harder it would be to learn. Vaguely, he felt that this world was not as simple as it seemed. For example, in other planes, people who could see evil things were different from ordinary people. They were all people with special constitutions. But here, people who could see evil things didn't live long. Although he was curious, Wang Zhong didn't say much. After his parents left, he looked around and saw that there was no one around, so he went to the haunted house. He had too many doubts about how he managed to cultivate qi today. Why did his cultivation progress so fast? Why did his father's spiritual root not increase his cultivation level? Could qi be used to deal with evil things? Of these 3 questions, only the third one could be solved as soon as possible. He jumped in through the window. The Huang clan and Zhao Rong left and appeared. Brother. Zhao Rong bowed and looked at Wang Zhong curiously. These days, Zhao Rong and Wang Zhong were very familiar with each other. However, she was still very curious about her brother, Wang Zhong. On the other side, there was a trembling male ghost. Now he was only a small ball. He couldn't even condense his body. All that was left was a rotten face. Abaying. Wang Zhong looked at him. These days, he also knew that this male was Abaying. Master. Abaying was trembling. What are you going to use to deal with me today? Please don't use the boy's urine again. Don't worry. I will only use my fist. Phew. Abaying heaved a sigh of relief. In his opinion, Zhao Xiaodong was only good at using the boy's urine. As long as he didn't use the boy's urine, he could do whatever he wanted. Tiger form fist. With a soft roar, Wang Zhong smashed his fist out. Buzz! A formless gas blasted out from the fist. Abaying's eyes narrowed. Looking at the formless gas, he felt that his soul was about to scatter. No! Aben howled miserably, and the remaining head of the black mist immediately dissipated. Huh! Wang Zhong was stunned. The black gas was gone? Or was it hiding? Brother, Abaying's soul is about to scatter, Zhao Rong said with some fear. For evil creatures like them, the thing they were most afraid of was having their soul scatter. His soul is about to scatter? Wang Zhong looked at his fist and felt a sense of pride. What a bullshit low-grade spiritual root. With his strength, there were not many people who could deal with him. Could it be the policy of fooling the people? Wang Zhong suddenly had an idea. Xiaodong, how did you cultivate such divine power? Huang clan asked. I don't know. Wang Zhong shook his head. You are only 6 years old, right? You are already so powerful, and can cultivate qi. Could it be that you and your father also have level 7 spiritual roots? After thinking for a while, she shook her head. That's strange. Although Dahai has a level 7 spiritual root, when I cultivated with him every day, he didn't cultivate any energy at all. Instead, I cultivated a little. You cultivated it? Yes. Huang clan sighed. Your father and I were childhood friends. When I was tested to have a level 3 spiritual root, your father still didn't leave me. Later, when I was 18, I gave birth to Rong. Unfortunately, Rong was only 10 years old. She accidentally entered this place and was killed by Abaying. In order to save Rong, he was killed by him. Then did you see any evil creatures when you were young? Wang Zhong asked. I saw it when I was 8 or 9 years old. After I married into this place, I saw that this house was strange. Later, I asked Master Gao to come over and seal this place. After hearing this, Wang Zhong was even more certain of his guess. The lower a person's spiritual root, the easier it was for them to cultivate qi. Therefore, Zhao Dahai didn't cultivate it back then. Instead, Huang clan, who had a level 3 spiritual root, cultivated it. Unfortunately, Huang clan was only a woman. She cultivated purely to accompany Zhao Dahai. After Zhao Dahai stopped cultivating, Huang clan also gave up. You and your mother can't stay here. Why don't you go to hell and start anew? Wang Zhong asked. We don't know. After we died, we were locked up here. Xiaodong, if possible, please take your sister away from here and help her ascend. I will think of a way for you. Wang Zhong nodded. There seemed to be a problem with the heavenly Tao of this world. People who died didn't enter the cycle of reincarnation. They all stayed in the world of the living. No wonder demons and ghosts ran rampant here. Son. At this time, Zhao Dahai's voice came from outside. Hearing this, Huang clan looked affectionately from the window. Dahai has gained weight. Sigh, it's a pity that I can't stay by his side to accompany him. It was obvious that the Huang clan and Zhao Dahai had a deep relationship. Wang Zhong guessed that it was because of this that his mother and the others didn't mention anything about this house. They were worried that mentioning the Huang clan and their daughter would make Zhao Dahai sad. Father! Zhao Rong also looked at Zhao Dahai from afar and shouted. Unfortunately, Zhao Dahai couldn't hear the voice of the deceased. I'm leaving first. Wang Zhong crawled out. Father, I'm here. Child, why did you go in? Zhao Dahai frowned. He knew that his former wife and daughter were buried here. But he also knew that it was never clean. Originally, he could have gotten someone to extinguish the dirty things in the house. But he couldn't bear to do so. What if the ghosts were his wife and daughter? When I was young, you didn't let me go in. I just looked around. Wang Zhong didn't mention the Huang clan. He was still too young. Perhaps even Zhao Dahai wouldn't believe him easily. Child, how many times have I told you? You can't go in here casually. Zhao Dahai walked to the window and looked inside. Wang Zhong could see that the Huang clan and their daughter were standing in front of Zhao Dahai, but Zhao Dahai couldn't see them at all. Father, those are just rumors. There are no dirty things here. Wang Zhong changed the topic. Why are you looking for me? Nothing. I just wanted to tell you that I'm going out with your mother. You stay at home and don't run around. Zhao Dahai said as he closed the window. Why are you going out? Something happened to Zhang Tufa's son, Zhang Liang. Chapter 112. Previously, Wang Zhong knew that Zhang Liang had a level 1 spirit root and had met him twice. He knew that he would die before he turned 10. Hearing this, he hurriedly asked, What's wrong with him? There's no reaction. People with short lifespans are like this before they die. Many people have already gone over. Your mother and I will go over to take a look. You stay at home. With that, Zhao Dahai hurriedly went out. Wang Zhong also ran out with a frown on his face. I'd like to see how that short-lived person died, so that I can come up with a way to deal with it. He looked around and saw that the servants were busy. The butler, Li Bo, was calculating the accounts at the counter. No one was paying attention to him. After all, he was now 6 years old and had cognitive ability. He was usually well-behaved, so no one was worried about him. Wang Zhong strode out and instantly passed by the adults who were rushing to the Zhang family. Zhang Liang hasn't eaten for a day. I'm afraid he won't live for more than 3 days. Sigh, people with short lifespans are like this before they die. The people from the underworld are here to take their lives. Hearing the words of the people around him, Wang Zhong sneered. According to his deduction, these deaths had nothing to do with the underworld. At this moment, the courtyard of Zhang Tufa's house was already crowded with people. Many people were squeezing their heads to look inside. Zhang Liang was carried in the hall of the Zhang family. His whole body was covered with a quilt, and he was motionless. Master Gao had already been invited over, and was sitting by the side. Master, although my son Zhang Liang only has a level 1 spirit root, he's only 9 years old now. This, how can it be so fast? Master Gao didn't say anything. He gently stroked Zhang Liang's forehead with his palm and shook his head. It's cold. According to my experience, your son's lifespan will end today. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. Ah. Zhang Yundong directly knelt down. Son. Although he had long known that his son wouldn't live long as a father, his heart was still extremely pained when this day really came. Because of the cold, Zhang Liang was so cold that he couldn't speak. Master Gao stood up and shouted outside, Close the door. Once your lifespan is up, it's up to fate. With that, Master Gao got up and left. Zhang Yundong wiped his tears and shouted to the people outside the door. Neighbors, thank you for taking care of my son. It's just that my son won't live for long. Please go back. With that, he closed the door. Generally speaking, at the moment of a person's death, the family would try to keep the surroundings quiet to avoid disturbing the dying person. Some people left, but most of them stayed. This was because the way people with short lifespans died was different from the way normal people died. Driven by curiosity, people wanted to take a look. At this moment, Wang Zhong was mixed in with the crowd. From afar, he could see his parents and Lin Prefecture's family whispering to each other. He quietly squeezed through the crowd. There were quite a number of people leaning against the crack of the door. Fortunately, he was short and could see inside from the lowest point. Inside the house, Zhang Liang suddenly began to tremble. His entire body was shaking violently. Suddenly, Zhang Liang lay on the bed and looked at the ceiling motionless. Only Zhang Yundong and his wife were left beside him. However, they didn't dare to approach him at this time. Wang Zhong frowned because he noticed that Zhang Liang's face was gradually becoming distorted. Zhang Yundong and his wife couldn't bear to watch anymore. Both of them turned their faces away. Zhang Liang's face became more and more distorted. Eventually, all the water in his body seemed to be sucked dry. His fair skin quickly shriveled and finally became dry skin without any water. Zhang Liang was dead. He seemed to have become a 100-year-old mummy. He died in a miserable manner. He's dead, he's dead. Some people who saw Zhang Liang's situation shouted softly. The people outside all sighed and asked about his death. It's the same as before. It's all dried up. An old man shook his head and sighed. Wang Zhong calmly left the place. He wasn't afraid of these dead people. However, the way they died shocked him. A living person was instantly sucked dry of blood and water. This wasn't the end of his lifespan. It was some kind of spell or evil creature killed him. Someone was killing people like them who had low spirit roots. Fortunately, Wang Zhong wasn't a native of this world. Therefore, he was able to make some guesses. In fact, having a low spirit root wasn't a bad thing. On the contrary, because of the low spirit root, one's cultivation progress would be faster. Behind the scenes, someone was afraid that people like them with low spirit roots would grow up. Therefore, they created this lifespan thing to make the world think that people with low spirit roots would die faster. This world was probably controlled by some evil creature. Wang Zhong had been here for 6 years. It was easy for him to analyze the situation. I have to prepare early. That evil creature will definitely attack me before I grow up. In the following days, Wang Zhong practiced martial arts diligently every day. He realized that if he didn't train properly, his skills would progress very slowly. However, if he used his previous martial arts training, his strength would improve very quickly. Wang Zhong analyzed this point. It might be because of his extraordinary talent. The lower the spirit root, the stronger the talent. Those with high spirit roots weren't talented. It was because the evil creature was too lazy to deal with them. These days, Wang Zhong practiced a lot of martial arts. Tiger form fist technique focused on fist techniques. 8 trigrams palm technique used softness to conquer strength. Qinggong, floating on water. In the Great Dragon Dynasty, this technique could only allow one to float 5 to 6 meters across the river. However, in this world, he could float more than 20 meters away by using his strength. Little Leaf Flying Dagger, Never Mississippi. In the Great Dragon Dynasty, this technique required internal strength. One could barely learn it when they were over 30 years old. However, in this world, Wang Zhong was pleasantly surprised to find that he could use it easily. It should be noted that these techniques required more than 20 years of learning. One could only use them with internal strength after learning them from a young age. Moreover, one had to have a good physique. In the previous world, he was either weak, malnourished, or not given enough time to grow. Therefore, many times before he could learn these martial arts, he would either die or have no time to learn them. After all, he didn't even have enough to eat. After he grew up, his body shape was fixed. Therefore, even if he learned martial arts, he wouldn't be much stronger. He might as well invent the flintlock gun. However, it was different in this world. The air in this world was obviously different from the other worlds. It was extremely easy to cultivate martial arts. He had an extraordinary physique and talent. Since he was young, He ate well and wore well. With these factors, it was difficult for him to be weak. In this world I won't die again. Wang Zhong punched out. The fierce strength was like a powerful cannon, destroying the broken tree trunk in front of him. I feel that my strength has more than doubled. Wang Zhong was full of confidence. Crackle. Another new year had come. On this night, every house was decorated with lanterns and streamers. It was very lively. On this day, Wang Zhong asked the kitchen to cook some chicken legs, duck legs, fish and meat. He quietly went to the house of the Huang clan's mother and daughter. Now, the lock had been secretly opened by him. It was just that the others didn't know. It's New Year. Let's eat something. Wang Zhong carried a cloth bag in his hand. After entering the house, he quietly closed the door. He spread out the cloth bag. There were a few food wrapped in lotus leaves inside. After interacting with the mother and daughter, Wang Zhong also knew that although evil creatures couldn't eat, they could absorb the fragrance on the food. After eating, evil creatures could increase their strength. Unfortunately, the increase was very small. It was far less than the amount of essence of heaven and earth that they absorbed in a day. It's duck leg. It smells so good. Zhao Rong looked at Wang Zhong happily. Thank you, brother. Chapter 113. Wang Zhong was a little embarrassed to hear Zhao Rong calling him brother. However, he also knew that the person in front of him was his half-sister. Although she looked like she was only in her teens, she was actually in her 20s. It's New Year. Eat something. Although these things won't have any effect on you, it's good to have some joy, Wang Zhong said to Huang clan. Thank you, brother. Zhao Rong touched the duck leg. The duck leg that was originally full of flavor instantly shriveled and turned into a lump of black rotten meat. This was the way evil creatures ate. They only absorbed the essence of the food. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. This way of eating was the same as the way Zhang Liang died. When Zhang Liang died, wasn't his whole body shriveled up like this piece of duck meat? For a moment, Wang Zhong seemed to have guessed something in his heart. Is everything okay at home these days? Huang clan asked. It's okay. These days father also told me about you. He even cried. Wang Zhong shook his head and sighed. Mother also respects you as an elder sister. Didn't she burn incense for you at the door yesterday? Yes, I received the incense. Thank you. Huang clan nodded slightly. You're 7 years old now, right? This year, you're going to be tested for your spiritual roots. You're 2 years later than the others and you've cultivated strength. Your spiritual roots must be very high. I hope you can inherit Dahai's wish and become a disciple of a master. When the time comes, you'll bring glory to your ancestors. I hope so. Wang Zhong didn't tell anyone about his discovery, not even ghosts. Because these were all his own guesses. Not only would no one believe him, but if word got out and attracted evil creatures, he would be killed in advance. The loss outweighed the gain. After a while, Huang clan and her daughter cleaned up everything. Wang Zhong said, I've taken off the talisman paper on the door and replaced it with ordinary paper. Others can't tell. If you're willing, can you follow me out later? What do you want to do? The Huang clan was curious. You also know that I have cultivated qi. So I want to go out and find some evil things to practice. But I can't find where the evil things are. You should be able to sense it easily, right? Wang Zhong had already thought about it. Although he was powerful in dealing with evil beings, he didn't know how to find them. He needed to find some evil beings and practice more to prepare for the future. Huang clan thought for a moment and nodded. Ronger died early. Before she died, she hadn't seen the prosperity of this world. Why don't you take her out? Besides, she looks small and delicate, which will attract some evil creatures. If I go out, the evil creatures will be scared away by my big size. All right then. With that, Wang Zhong opened the door. Zhao Rong bowed to the Huang clan and said, Mother, I'll go out with my brother. All right, let's go. Because of the new year, there were quite a lot of people on the streets, even though it was already nighttime. And because Wang Zhong was now 7 years old, Zhao Dahai and his wife's discipline of him was also much looser. Father, I'm going out to set off fireworks. Wang Zhong said goodbye and walked out. What the others didn't notice was that a black fog was following him. Wait. Zhao Dahai chased after him. Wang Zhong thought that Zhao Dahai was going to stop him, but he didn't expect that Zhao Dahai mysteriously took out a few copper coins and said, "What's so fun about being alone? Later go and play with Lin Wu. She's your wife in the future. You have to be careful. Didn't you see that little bastard son Dania following Xiao Wu every day? Be careful that your wife doesn't get kidnapped." Got it. Wang Zhong reluctantly took the copper coins and left. Father is so good to you, Zhao Rong said enviously. He was also very good to you when you were young. It's okay. Father doesn't like me because I'm a girl, Zhao Rong muttered. Wang Zhong didn't know how to comfort her. He could only take a stick of candied fruit from the side and put it in front of Zhao Rong. Zhao Rong wiped it with her small hand, and the stick of candied fruit instantly shriveled. So sweet. Zhao Rong beamed with joy. Did you find anything wrong? Wang Zhong asked. Zhao Rong looked around and shook her head. It seems that there are too few evil creatures in the city. Wang Zhong sighed and looked around. He was surprised to see a figure. Lin Wu and a group of girls were playing with lanterns by the river. There seems to be something in the water. Zhao Rong suddenly pointed at the water. There's a black shadow. Wang Zhong walked over. Sure enough, he saw a black shadow in the water. By the river, other than a few girls, Sun Daniu and a few boys were also on the side. Xiao Wu, I bought your favorite candied fruit and a small clay figurine. Sun Daniu ran over casually. Daniu, thank you. Lin Wu took the candied fruit. Daniu, you are so good to Xiao Wu. Why didn't you give it to me? The surrounding girls were dissatisfied. Go away. Your face is full of pockmarks. Who would give it to you? Sun Daniu was obviously the king of this group of children. His attitude was very rude. Sure enough, after he said that, the girl who was scolded pouted. Lin Wu frowned. Daniu, how can you say that to a girl? How is Asyang's face full of pockmarks? Isn't it just a few small peas? How can you say that to her? You are so bad. I just said it casually. Asyang, I will buy it for you next time. Sun Daniu turned to the unhappy Asyang and said perfunctorily. However, when he turned back, he immediately followed behind Lin Wu. Who cares? I know you like Xiao Wu. However, Xiao Wu and Zhao Xiaodong are already betrothed. You don't have a chance. Asyang replied bluntly. TSK, that is just a casual conversation between adults. Sun Daniu was not convinced. Seeing that her good friends were about to quarrel, Lin Wu frowned and said, All right, Daniu, stop being so long-winded. I will listen to you, Xiao Wu. Wang Zhong shook his head as he watched from the side. Sure enough, they were a group of children. They were actually jealous of each other. He did not think much of it and walked over. It is dangerous by the river. It is better to walk further away. He wanted the children to walk away a little, so that they would not be hurt by the things in the water. Sun Daniu was already unhappy that Wang Zhong stole the person he liked. He snorted. Coward. There are so many people playing by the river. What are you afraid of? That's right. Coward, Zhao Xiaodong. No wonder he doesn't come out to play. It seems that he is so timid. That's right. Do you think this is outside the city? There are so many evil things. As these people were talking, Wang Zhong saw a black shadow gradually emerge from the water. This black shadow was much more solid than Abaying. In the past, Wang Zhong had heard that people had drowned here. Wang Zhong guessed that this thing must have been hiding in the water for a long time without being discovered. At this moment, Lin Wu was the closest to the water. The black fog suddenly floated out and pounced on Lin Wu. Not good. Wang Zhong rushed out. Originally, he could have punched the black fog and directly destroyed it. However, the problem was that Lin Wu was in front of him. If he punched, he was afraid that he would hurt Lin Wu. Therefore, he chose to pull Lin Wu back. Lin Wu was shocked and immediately pounced on Wang Zhong. Although they were children, this year, Lin Wu was already 10 years old. She roughly understood what she should understand. Therefore, it was very awkward for a moment. Sun Dania's eyes were about to burst. Zhao Xiaodong, you dare to bully Lin Wu? Wang Zhong ignored Sun Daniu and looked at Lin Wu. Are you okay? Lin Wu climbed up and snorted. You are so annoying. You are so young yet you don't learn good things. Chapter 114. I didn't bully you. Don't misunderstand. Wang Zhong shook his head. Shouldn't the children in ancient times mature later? Why was it like this? He had just saved her, but she actually suspected him of molesting her. But at this time, he saw Sun Daniu still standing by the river from the corner of his eyes. The black shadow was already behind Sun Daniu. A sharp hand reached out and quickly grabbed Sun Daniu's hair. Ouch! Sun Daniu was pulled into the water with a splash. Hey, where's brother Sun Daniu? A child turned around and found that Sun Daniu was gone. Aya, he fell into the water. Daniu fell into the water. Asyong saw Daniu struggling in the water and anxiously shouted, "Oh no, Daniu doesn't know how to swim." Lin Wu hurriedly shouted to the adults behind her, "Help, help." Unfortunately, today was the new year. Although there were many people on the street, everyone was chatting with each other. It was very noisy. The voices of the few children could not be heard at all. Just when everyone did not know what to do, they saw a black shadow leap into the air and jump into the water. Hey, it looks like Xiaodong. Xiaodong jumped into the river. Someone exclaimed. At this moment, Wang Zhong had already jumped into the water. He tried to open his eyes and look at the black fog under the water. He was not impulsive to save people. When he saw the black fog, he sensed it. This black fog was only a little stronger than Abaying. At that time, he had already smashed Abaying with a punch. Now that he had cultivated for more than a year, it would only be easier. Although the water was very dark, he could not see it even if he opened his eyes. But it did not matter. At this time, Zhao Rong shouted, "It's in front of you to the right." Wang Zhong swam to the right. Sure enough, he felt a cold aura. This aura had obviously discovered Wang Zhong and was overjoyed. It swam towards Wang Zhong. The cold aura was getting closer and closer. Wang Zhong tried his best to sense it. The black fog had already grabbed onto his neck and was trying to pull Wang Zhong down to reunite with Sun Daniu. Wang Zhong snorted softly as his energy surged out. He muttered in his heart, "Die!" and then waved his fist in front of him. Qi gushed out, and the black fog was directly dispersed. However, the black fog did not seem to give up. It was still pulling Wang Zhong's trousers, trying to pull him underwater. It had to be said that fighting in the water was indeed not as convenient as fighting on the shore. However, at this critical moment of life and death, Wang Zhong's heart surged with a strong desire to survive. His legs suddenly kicked, and his strength rushed out from the soles of his feet. Bang! An explosion erupted from the bottom of the water. Zhao Rong shouted happily, "The water ghost soul is gone." Wang Zhong understood and swam towards Sun Daniu. This Sun Daniu was still a child after all. They only had some verbal disagreements. There was no need for him to leave him alone. Pulling Sun Daniu, he lifted his arms and kicked his legs and swam upwards. What happened? At this moment, Sun Daniu's father, Sun Dazhuang, was finally called over. "Uncle Sun, Daniu fell into the water." Asyong said anxiously. "Ah, how long has it been?" It's been a long time." Lin Wu was so anxious that her face was pale. Xiaodong jumped down to save him. Just as she finished speaking, she saw Wang Zhong's head pop out. He was holding a human head under his arm. It was the unconscious Sun Daniu. Splash! Sun Dazhuang jumped into the water immediately. "Uncle Sun, save your son first. I'll be fine alone," Wang Zhong said as he handed Sun Daniu to Sun Dazhuang and climbed ashore. Amazing. I didn't expect Zhao Xiaodong to be so good in the water. It was him who saved Sun Daniu. The surrounding people started to talk amongst themselves, and the gazes of the few little girls towards Wang Zhong had also changed. On this day, everyone knew that Wang Zhong saved Sun Daniu. Zhao Xiaodong, who was originally nicknamed the Coward, became the little hero, Zhao Xiaodong. The next morning, Sun Dazhuang and his wife brought Sun Daniu and 2 caddies of beef and mutton to the auspicious inn. They thanked Zhao Xiaodong for saving them. "Shopkeeper Zhao, if it wasn't for your son, Xiaodong, my son Sun Dazhuang, would have been in trouble. Although I, Sun Dazhuang, am a boor, I'm sensible. Thank you very much for this." In the lobby of the Zhao residence, Sun Dazhuang handed over the beef and mutton. "This is a small gift to show my respect." "Hey boss Sun, Why are you being so polite? Take it back. Zhao Dahai declined. Yes. Dainese, say a few words, Sun Dazhuang said. Sun Dainia's face was a little pale. It was obvious that he hadn't recovered from last night's shock. He walked in front of Wang Zhong in a daze. Xiaodong, thank you. It's good that you're fine. Zhao Dahai laughed. He was very proud of his son. In the end, he declined a few times, but still accepted the gift. After the son father and son left, Zhao Dahai said to Wang Zhong, Son, although it's good that you saved them, it was too dangerous. What if you didn't save them, and put yourself in danger? You're my only son. If you can avoid saving them in the future, don't save them. I also felt that they were good at swimming, so I saved them. I'll know next time. I'm going to cultivate. For the next few days, Wang Zhong cultivated every day. At night, he brought Zhao Rong out to look for evil creatures. Finally, the day of the spirit root test was getting closer. On this day, Wang Zhong went out with Zhao Rong as usual. They walked along an alley. Xiaodong, these days, you've dealt with all the evil creatures in this alley. Let's go somewhere else, Zhao Rong said. Okay. Wang Zhong nodded and looked into the distance. The evil creatures in the city are too weak. I wonder how it's like outside the city. You want to leave the city? I want to. If I don't encounter a strong evil creature, I will never be able to grow. But this snow city is surrounded by tall walls. If I want to leave the city, I need a document. As they were talking on the dark street, a group of people riding white horses suddenly came over. Wang Zhong hid in the alley. When he saw the group of people coming over, his eyes narrowed. It's actually Master White and Master Wu. Although Master White and Master Wu were sitting in their own palanquins, Wang Zhong could still recognize that this group belonged to Master White and Master Wu. The group was unusually large. As they walked, the disciples put their palms together and chanted some kind of scripture. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong couldn't understand it. As a master, they need people to carry their palanquins and enjoy all kinds of glory and wealth. This doesn't seem like what a master should do. These so-called masters are probably just superficial. Wang Zhong watched the group of people leave. Then he quietly returned to his house. After a month, this year's spirit root test began again. Wang Zhong knew that the time to decide his fate had come. I'm afraid that after today, everyone will know that my spirit root talent is low. But those people won't know that people with low spirit roots are the most suitable for cultivation. Wang Zhong looked at the bare tree trunk in his courtyard and waved his fist again. After a while, Zhao Dahai and Wei Yin walked over together. Son, your spirit root test is starting today. Let's go. Zhao Dahai walked over and said. Chapter 115. Just like the previous spirit root testing day, the huge square in front of the city lord's mansion was already filled with people. Lin Prefecture's family and Zhao Dahai's family walked together. They had already reserved a good spot, which was very close to the stands. It was easy to see everything on the stage. There are actually more than 50 children taking the spirit root testing day this time. It seems that our Snow City's population is becoming more and more prosperous, Lin Prefecture said as he swept his gaze over the surrounding crowd. Yes, Lao Zhang is also here. I heard that his wife is pregnant again. I hope that their child's spirit root is higher this time. Zhao Dahai sighed and looked at Wang Zhong beside him. Xiaodong, don't be nervous. Just like Xiao Wu last time. When the time comes, just put your hand into the jar. Xiaodong's ability is outstanding. He definitely won't be afraid. Lin Prefecture looked at Wang Zhong with admiration. Now, everyone knew that Wang Zhong had saved Sun Dainyu in the water. So they all knew that Wang Zhong was not timid and did not play with children, but that he matured early and did not like to play. Wang Zhong only smiled at Lin Prefecture and did not say anything. Xiaodong, why don't you usually look for me? After standing for a while, Lin Wu whispered in a low voice. Her tone was as bitter as a widow's. Wang Zhong shot a flabbergasted look at Lin Wu. He knew that Lin Wu had probably viewed him in a new light after he had saved her that day. Furthermore, they had been betrothed since they were young. Therefore, her heart had long belonged to him. What an ill-fated relationship. Wang Zhong sighed in his heart. In fact, in his heart, Wang Zhong did not want to have any feelings so early, but his strength did not allow it. I usually practice martial arts at home, so I don't have time, Wang Zhong said expressionlessly. I've long heard that you practice martial arts at home. So it's true. Lin Wu looked at him curiously. What martial arts do you know? A lot. Can you teach me when I go to your house? Lin Wu asked. Sure. Is there anything suitable for me to practice? Let's continue watching. Why do you always speak in 2 words? Really? After talking for a while, Lin Wu suddenly felt that Wang Zhong was boring. She realized that Zhao Xiaodong was a very strange child. He was so young, but he was as mature as an adult. Every time she talked to Zhao Xiaodong, she felt suppressed. And compared to other boys who liked to pester her to play, Zhao Xiaodong was indifferent to her, which made her a little depressed. However, the more depressed she was, the more she wanted to talk to Zhao Xiaodong. Wang Zhong did not know what the girl beside him was thinking. At that moment, he was standing with a group of similar children. Just like before, Zhou Yong, as the city lord, made an opening speech. Then, he invited Master White and Master Wu to the stage to perform the ritual and test the spirit root. Looking at Zhou Yong, Wang Zhong wondered if he was in cahoots with these 2 masters. Even the current imperial court, was it controlled by these so-called masters? If his guess was true, Wang Zhong would have to be enemies with the imperial court if he wanted to live. The 2 masters and a group of disciples walked over and began to perform the ritual. The spirit root talisman was activated. Then, Master Wu walked in front of Wang Zhong and tapped the spirit root talisman on his forehead. When facing these masters, Wang Zhong hid his energy very well. At the same time, when the spirit root talisman was activated, Wang Zhong also felt a trace of energy fluctuation. Sure enough, these so-called masters were all cultivators of strength qi. As the spirit root talisman was tapped on his forehead, Wang Zhong felt a little hot on his forehead. Then, sealed black jars were placed in front of him. Put your hand in, Master Wu said coldly. One by one, the children put their hands into the jars. As soon as they put their hands in, Wang Zhong felt a gloomy and cold aura spread all over his body. There is indeed something strange. I'm afraid the thing inside is evil. Wang Zhong guessed in his heart, but he did not dare to act recklessly. His strength was still weak. Facing a powerful enemy, he could not show too much strength to avoid any mishaps. With his hand covered by the evil thing, Wang Zhong felt the strength in his body being absorbed. Level 6. At that moment, numbers appeared on the foreheads of other children. Level 6. Not bad. A child stepped down excitedly. Level 5. Level 4. Level 7. Numbers appeared on the foreheads of the children one by one. The children whose numbers appeared walked down the stage. However, Wang Zhong did not appear because he realized that the evil thing in his hand was still absorbing the strength in his body. Finally, when most of the people on the stage had left, a number gradually appeared on his forehead, too. Wow! The people below the stage were all excited. It's actually 2. Shopkeeper Zhao's son is a short-lived person. Hey. I heard that he saved Sun Dania during the new year. I didn't expect him to be short-lived. This is called good people don't live long. Poor little hero. Everyone shook their heads and sighed. It had been several years since a person with such a low spirit root had appeared in the city. At that moment, Zhao Dahai was also stunned. He stared blankly at Wang Zhong on the stage. Wei Yin covered her head directly and was about to faint. Fortunately, Lin Wu's mother hurriedly supported Wei Yin and prevented her from collapsing. Looking at everyone's expressions, Wang Zhong knew what was going on even without looking at his own forehead. So it's like this. Wang Zhong was not surprised. He already knew that he would be in this situation, so he was not surprised. Spirit Root Talent Level 2. Master Wu stared at Wang Zhong meaningfully. It's a pity that you won't live long. Go down. Okay. In order not to arouse suspicion, Wang Zhong pretended to lower his head and walked down the stage dejectedly. My son, Zhao Dahai directly cried, suddenly rushed to the stage, kowtowed to Master Wu and Master Bai. 2 masters, You have to save my son. I, Zhao Dahai. Even if I have to be an ox or a horse, I will serve you, please. Spirit root talent is everyone's fate. This is something that cannot be changed. Go back. Master White turned around and followed his disciple down the stage. Master Wu, Master Wu. Zhao Dahai hugged Master Wu's thigh. Unfortunately, Master Wu kicked Zhao Dahai in disgust and shouted, "Don't you know who you are? You're just a lowly merchant. How dare you touch me? If you dare to come closer, I'll kill you." Wang Zhong quickly went up the stage and pulled Zhao Dahai. "Father, let's go back." "But son, I'm fine." Wang Zhong shook his head and looked at the backs of Master Wu and the group of people. Killing intent surged. "Shopkeeper Zhao, the two masters have bad tempers. You should go back. Spirit root talent is everyone's fate. To put it bluntly, your son's lifespan is limited. There's nothing you can do about it." City Lord Zhou Yong tried to mediate, then led the guards back. The crowd in the square gradually dispersed. However, at this time, none of Zhao Dahai's close friends came over. They all knew that Zhao Xiaodong was a short-lived person. Being close to a short-lived person would shorten one's lifespan. Chapter 116. On this trip home, Wang Zhong felt that his parents were walking very slowly. They looked like two different people compared to their lively selves in the past. Along the way, many people didn't greet them when they saw them. They turned corners as if they were avoiding the plague. What made Wang Zhong sigh was that the father and daughter, Lin Wu and Lin Prefecture, were also dragged home by Lin Wu's mother. Obviously, although Lin Prefecture still had brotherly feelings, Lin Wu's mother took him home for the sake of the big picture. The reason was self-evident. When they got home, the originally lively auspicious inn was now deserted. Even the housekeeper and a few servants looked at Wang Zhong with pity. As a short-lived person, it seems that it's really tragic. Wang Zhong sighed and shook his head. However, he wasn't worried. He was still young. There were still more than 10 years before his 21st birthday. During this time, he could completely cultivate himself. At that time, if that evil creature wanted to take his life, it would have to see if it had the ability to do so. "Son." After they got home, Zhao Dahai closed the door and looked at Wang Zhong with Wei Yan, who was only about 1 meter tall. "My poor son, what should we do now?" Sob, sob, sob. Wei Yan was a married woman after all. At this moment she couldn't help but cry. Cry, shut up. Don't you think our family is unlucky? Zhao Dahai was usually gentle and wouldn't get angry no matter how serious the situation was. However, this time he couldn't help it. After he finished speaking, Zhao Dahai covered his chest and couldn't help but cough a few times. He cursed in a low voice. "That King Master Wu is really ruthless. My old bones were almost broken by his kick." "Father, are you okay? Let me take a look." Wang Zhong walked over. Zhao Dahai waved his hand. "I may be old, but I know what I'm doing. I won't die." "You on the other hand, Sai. You already know that the number of spirit roots represents your lifespan. Didn't we ask for the spirit root ash from the master? Logically speaking, it should be useful for Xiaodong to drink it," Wei Yan said anxiously. Zhao Dahai gritted his teeth and said, "It seems that thing didn't work." "Father, mother, don't worry. I still believe that man can conquer nature," Wang Zhong said solemnly. "Sai, I hope so. But son, don't worry. Even if everyone else ignores you, your father won't give up on you. Even if you can only live to 20 years old, I will make sure you live well." As Zhao Dahai spoke, he rummaged through the room and took out a wooden box. Inside, there were actually over 1,000 taels of silver neatly arranged. "Sai, these family properties were originally going to be passed to you after my death. But now that things have come to this, I can't keep them anymore." "Father, why did you take out these taels of silver?" Wang Zhong didn't understand. There is an unwritten rule in the city. 10 years before the death of a person with a short lifespan, they have to go out of the city and join the guide team. Guide team? Yes. I didn't explain it to you before because I didn't think it was necessary. But now I have no choice. The so-called guide team is the people who attract evil creatures. Because our city has always been peaceful, there are very few evil creatures. On one hand, there are masters overseeing the city, so the evil creatures can't invade the city. On the other hand, it is the guide team. These guide teams are all people who don't have long to live. Their purpose is to go out of the city and attract the evil creatures away from here. For example, in the past few years, the evil creatures have been causing trouble in the mass grave. The Gaojia village has many guide team members who go there and attract the evil creatures elsewhere. That's why this place has always been peaceful. No wonder the guide team members are so dangerous, Wang Zhong said. Yes, so the people who join the guide team are people who don't have long to live. Xiaodong, you are only 7 years old now. When you are 15, I'm afraid you will have to join the guide team. This is the city lord's rule. Even if I don't want you to join, you have to. Otherwise, it will be seen as disobeying the imperial court's orders. Father, mother, don't worry. I'm not afraid. He had originally planned to find a way to leave the city when he grew up. Now it seemed that he didn't need to think of a way. My poor child, joining the guide team is the same as putting your head on your pants. Sigh. Wei Yin couldn't help but wipe away her tears. Xiaodong, I will invite Master Gao over in the next few days. No matter what, you should learn a few moves from him. When you are 15, you will have the ability to protect yourself. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. It couldn't be better to have the guidance of a master. Seeing his son's calm expression, Zhao Dahai felt slightly comforted. Unfortunately, after you become a person with a short life, I'm afraid your marriage with Lin Wu. It's okay. Everyone likes to live longer. I'm afraid no one will marry me if my life is short. Wang Zhong comforted him. Xiaodong, it's good that you can think this way. However, I will try my best to get you married before you die. If Lin Wu is unwilling to marry, I will find other women. After that, Zhao Dahai gave some instructions and went out to find Master Gao. This Master Gao was said to be an itinerant cultivator in the city. He didn't know many spells. Compared to Master White and Master Wu, he was far inferior. However, to the people in the city, they couldn't invite masters like Master White and Master Wu. Therefore, they could only settle for the next best thing. Usually, they could only ask Master Gao for help. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. Master Gao was said to be busy recently and didn't come. Wang Zhong could only cultivate by himself. Now, Wang Zhong had installed several wooden dummies and punching bags in the backyard of the Zhao mansion. He trained day and night every day. As for the outside, he didn't go out during the day. Only at night did he sneak out with Xiaorong. Bang! Bang! His fists hit the sandbag like raindrops. This sandbag was made of some soil in a gunny sack. Although it was simple, it was very sturdy. However, no matter how sturdy it was, under Wang Zhong's heavy punches, the sandbag broke and the soil inside all flowed out. Wang Zhong panted slightly. Just as he was about to rest, he saw a delicate figure quietly walk in. Lin Wu, why are you here? Wang Zhong looked at the door and saw Lin Wu quietly walking over, looking behind her from time to time. I'm here to see you. Lin Wu walked in after making sure there was no one behind her. I have a short lifespan. It's inauspicious to see me. This is just a rumor. Anyway, I have been tested to have a level 7 spiritual root, so I'm not afraid. Lin Wu looked at Wang Zhong with a gentle gaze. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing to me? Wang Zhong was amused. He felt that this girl was quite interesting. That day when you were tested to have a level 2 spiritual root, I left immediately. Don't misunderstand. I was dragged back by my mother. Wang Zhong's heart warmed. Is that so? But I understand. After all, I have a short lifespan. But after all, we are engaged. To be honest, my mother did not agree to our marriage. But my father and I both feel that people have to fulfill their promises. Xiaodong, don't worry. I won't give up on you. It's just being a widow. I can bear it. Chapter 117. Looking at Lin Wu's serious look, Wang Zhong was both angry and amused. This little girl's personality was just like her father's. She was forthright and loyal. Let's go back. We'll talk about this later. Wang Zhong did not want to make any promises now. My mother has been keeping a close eye on me these days. It's rare for me to come out today. Why don't you teach me how to cultivate? Lin Wu patted the sandbag in front of her and said in surprise, "It's so sturdy." Seeing Lin Wu like this, Wang Zhong's heart skipped a beat. Lin Wu's talent was a level 7 spirit root. In the past, he only guessed that a level 7 spirit root was not suitable for cultivation. But he did not test it out. Now he could let her try and see if his guess was right. "Alright, I'll teach you. You're a girl, so I'll teach you women's martial arts. Immortal crane fist technique. After you've mastered the fist technique, I'll teach you some sword techniques." "Wow, Xiaodong, why do I feel like you know a lot?" Lin Wu's gaze was already filled with admiration. She felt that Zhao Xiaodong knew everything. "I've been learning martial arts since I was young. My father's study has many secret manuals," Wang Zhong said casually and reminded her. "Don't tell anyone about these things. After all, these secret manuals are secrets that cannot be passed on." Actually, these things were not important. But Wang Zhong was still worried that if those masters knew about it, it would bring trouble. It was better to keep a low profile. Yes, I understand." Lin Wu nodded seriously. "Alright, this is the first move of the Immortal Crane Fist technique. Immortal Crane pecks at food. The second move, Immortal Crane takes flight. The third move, Immortal Crane spreads its wings." Wang Zhong used the fist technique in front of Lin Wu. And Lin Wu followed Wang Zhong's movements and tried her best to learn. If there were any movements that were not right, Wang Zhong would teach her the specific method. "This arm is raised too low. Straighten the leg, bend the waist, bend again." What made Lin Wu speechless was that Wang Zhong looked gentle, but when he was training her, he was incomparably serious, causing her to cry out bitterly. In the face of Lin Wu's cries, Wang Zhong's face remained cold. "If you can't even bear this bit of hardship, how can you talk about martial arts? Why don't you find a good family and get married?" When Wang Zhong said these words, it could be said that he did not give any face at all. Lin Wu was so angry that she just wanted to cry. But for some reason, the competitive spirit in her heart had been aroused, and she had been bitterly holding on. Half a day later, Lin Wu was gasping for breath as if she was about to collapse. She originally thought that she would definitely be praised by Wang Zhong for her arduous cultivation. Who would have thought that Wang Zhong's immature face would shake slightly? "Your foundation is too weak. You need long-term training." "But I can't come out often." Lin Wu was a little discouraged. "It's okay. Just follow my instructions, and you will definitely become a martial arts expert." Wang Zhong had thought about it. Lin Wu's talent in strength cultivation might not be very good, but after learning martial arts, she could also become a martial arts expert. In the future, when dealing with criminals, self-protection would not be a problem. So he led Lin Wu to the study, picked up a pen, ink and paper, and began to record what Lin Wu had to do next. First of all, training every morning. The plan of the day is in the morning. Learning martial arts is about hard work. Don't be tired or you will fall short. In the morning, you have to warm up first. Stretch your legs, do some supine exercises, do 100 half squats, do 50 push-ups, and then practice boxing. Wang Zhong said a lot at once, and Lin Wu realized that the more she understood Zhao Xiaodong, the more she realized how amazing this child was. Needless to say, he knew so much at such a young age. Most importantly, he could actually write. Looking at his flamboyant handwriting, it was as if he was a famous calligrapher. "Okay, it's getting late. You should go back first." Wang Zhong put away the paper and handed it to Lin Wu. Lin Wu put away the paper like it was a treasure and looked lovingly at Wang Zhong, who was shorter than her by a head, and said, "Then I'll go back first. When I encounter something I don't understand, I'll come back secretly." After saying that, Lin Wu looked back almost every 2 steps and left reluctantly. Xiao Wu left. At this time, Wei Yan walked in from the hall and said with a smile, "Son, I didn't expect her to take the initiative to look for you. It's just a discussion about martial arts." Wang Zhong was speechless about his mother's gossip. "This isn't a discussion. Mother is experienced and can see that Xiao Wu is interested in you. If it wasn't for your spirit root." Speaking of this matter, Wei Yan's eyes darkened. "Unfortunately, if your spirit root was better, You and Lin Wu would be a match made in heaven. Mother, I will live well. I don't believe that people with low spirit roots will really die early. Wang Zhong was full of confidence. This confidence didn't come out of nowhere, but it came from his own strength. Master Gao, please. My son Xiaodong is inside. At this time, Zhao Dahai's voice came from outside. It seems like your father invited Master Gao. Later, you should be more polite and learn a few moves from Master Gao. In the future, when you go out of the city, you will have a guarantee. Wei Yin reminded. Wang Zhong nodded slightly and went out with Wei Yin to welcome the guests. Soon, Zhao Dahai led Master Gao into the hall. Wang Zhong and Wei Yin followed closely behind. This Master Gao's full name was Gao Jinren. Wang Zhong met him once when he was 3 years old. That time, he was injured by an evil creature. It was Gao Jinren who came to remove it. He had some skills. Now to Wang Zhong, he had the strength to deal with evil creatures. However, he still didn't know anything about charms. If there was someone to teach him, it couldn't be better. Greetings, Master Gao. Wang Zhong bowed respectfully. Master Gao had his hands behind his back and looked like an expert as he circled Wang Zhong and observed. Master Gao, this is my son Zhao Xiaodong. Not long ago, his spirit root was tested to be at level 2. Zhao Dahai said with a bitter face. Bad luck. There's nothing I can do about it. Xiaodong, are you willing to learn spells from me? Master Gao asked loudly. Your disciple is willing. Wang Zhong nodded hurriedly. It's a pity that your aptitude is too weak. Unexpectedly, Master Gao shook his head and said with disdain. I have more than 50 disciples. Among them, the worst is a level 3 spirit root. However, you are only at level 2. You are really too weak. Wang Zhong's mouth twitched. When he heard this, he was 100% sure that Master Gao didn't have much talent. According to his understanding, the lower the spirit root, the faster the cultivation speed. However, Master Gao hadn't figured this out yet. Of course, he didn't expose him. No matter how weak Master Gao was, if he could learn something, it meant that he must have had some kind of opportunity. Master Gao, my son is really slow-witted. I hope you can take care of him. Zhao Dahai gave Wei Yin a look. Wei Yin nodded and quickly took out a wooden box from the house. Master Gao, this is a small gift from my husband. Wei Yin handed the wooden box over. When he opened it, he was surprised to see a pile of silver neatly arranged inside. There is a total of 300 silver here. Master Gao, please give my son some advice, Zhao Dahai said. Master Gao looked at the pile of silver without moving his eyes. He didn't take it. He smiled and said, Shopkeeper Zhao, I have a way to let your son live a little longer. Really? Zhao Dahai's hands trembled. Of course, it's just that the cost. No matter how much it is, I am willing to pay. Good. Shopkeeper Zhao is really straightforward. About 2,000 silver. When the time comes, I will definitely let your son live a little longer. However, my method isn't very stable. As for how long he can live, it depends on his own talent. Master Gao looked at the silver in front of him and couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. So he was a greedy person. Wang Zhong despised him in his heart. However, he didn't say anything because he was already thinking about how to get Master Gao's secret. Chapter 118. Although Zhao Dahai was rich, 2,000 taels was still a large sum of money for him. So he hesitated for a moment. Master Gao, is your method really useful? Although it's not stable, don't worry. He'll definitely be able to live for a few more days. If he dies before he turns 20, I won't take a single cent from him. Master Gao said with a mysterious look on his face as he stroked his beard. Good. With this guarantee, Zhao Dahai felt that even if it was 2,000 taels, it was worth it. After all, 1,000 taels of gold couldn't buy a life. After the matter was settled, Zhao Dahai paid a deposit of 1,000 taels. The other two had already agreed that after Wang Zhong's 20th birthday, they would hand it over to Master Gao. At this point, Wang Zhong also understood why the original owner died at the age of 21. It was probably because Master Gao extended his life. Unfortunately, his life was only extended for 1 year. Later, for convenience, Zhao Dahai specially arranged a side courtyard for Master Gao Jinren to live in. Every day, there were servants to serve him, so his life was very comfortable. Unfortunately, Gao Jinren's moral character was not very good. Wang Zhong saw his own maid Sui Sui serving Master Gao tea and food several times. Gao Jinren stared at her neckline. Fortunately, although this guy's moral character was not good, greedy and lecherous, he spared no effort in teaching. These days, Wang Zhong had already learned how to draw talismans from him. Xiaodong, you are my 58th disciple. Although you are young, your foundation is not bad. At such a young age, you have already grown so strong. Good, very good. To use talismans, you need a good foundation. Master, what do I need to pay attention to when drawing talismans? Do I need some other power when using talismans? Wang Zhong asked. You mean strength, right? Talismans don't need any strength, but if you can inject a little bit of strength, it can increase some strength. Then, Gao Jinren began to talk about how he learned talismans in the past. At that time, I was tested to have a 6th level spirit root. Fortunately, my grandfather was a Taoist. Although Taoism has declined, my grandfather still hid a lot of Taoist books in his house. Under his guidance, I learned a lot. Drawing talismans is much easier than cultivating strength qi. Cultivating strength qi requires better talent. Weak strength qi can't deal with evil beings at all. However, when drawing talismans, you only need a little bit of strength qi to be able to erupt with powerful strength. Gao Jinren took out a rectangular piece of talisman paper and used red cinnabar to write down the 3 ancient characters Peace Talisman. The Safety Talisman is one of the most commonly made talismans. It is also the easiest talisman to make. Once you stick it on your body, ordinary evil beings will not be able to get close to you. This is the Extermination Talisman. Throw out the Extermination Talisman, and the evil beings' souls will scatter. This is a protective talisman. The ghosts will not be able to attack you. Gao Jinren introduced the 3 talismans at once. Then he took out a writing brush, a stack of yellow paper, and finally a bottle of red cinnabar ink. He gave them to Wang Zhong. Keep these and draw talismans according to the talismans I drew. When you're done, come and get them from me. Thank you, Master. Wang Zhong put away the things. Remember, you can't be impatient when you learn. Otherwise, the things you draw will be neither fish nor fowl. Back then, I only learned for more than 2 years, and could easily draw talismans. Your talent is so much worse than mine. I'll give you 5 years. Wang Zhong's mouth twitched. 5 years, the cucumber would be cold. But he didn't say much. He was still confident in himself. Gao Jinren didn't know that the lower the talent of the spirit root, the stronger the talent. He spent more than 2 years to learn these things, so logically, he should have less time. After that, Gao Jinren went out and left. Wang Zhong stayed at home to practice drawing talismans. Fortunately, he learned how to write before, so it wasn't strenuous at all. After practicing for more than an hour, Wang Zhong frowned. He was definitely good at drawing talismans, but the problem was that this was only a drawing of talismans. There was still a gap between the talismans drawn by Gao Jinren. This Gao Jinren is still hiding something. He let me draw talismans, but didn't teach me the essence. Although learning is mainly based on self-exploration, the problem is that we paid so much money. Wang Zhong was a little dissatisfied. He walked out and looked at Gao Jinren's room. I don't know what he has in his house. From what he said, his grandfather was a Taoist priest. That's why he was able to learn so many skills. If there are Taoist books in his house, that's not bad. Wang Zhong muttered to himself. Brother, do you want me to go in and take a look? Zhao Rong asked. Wang Zhong's heart moved. Okay, then you go in. I'll guard the door for you. Okay. Zhao Rong turned into a cloud of black fog and rushed toward the door. After Zhao Rong entered the room, she saw Gao Jinren's luggage. There were a lot of big and small bags. Unfortunately, there was a pile of ordinary clothes and nothing special. After returning without success, Wang Zhong fell into contemplation. Those things were Gao Jinren's livelihood. He either kept them with him or at home. For a short period of time, Wang Zhong didn't think too much about it. He drew and refined talismans every day. After drawing for a few days, He tried to overflow his strength and put it on the talisman paper. Unfortunately, the talisman paper was not as good as the one Gao Jinren made himself. "Disciple, how's it going?" At this time, Gao Jinren entered the room. "Master, there's something I don't understand. Why does my talisman paper seem to have less spiritual energy compared to yours?" "Hehe, how long have you been learning?" "Of course." Gao Jinren was about to speak but suddenly froze. He originally thought that Wang Zhong's talisman paper would be strange, since he had just learned it. But after looking at it, he found that except for the fact that his strength was a little weaker, he was not weaker than him in other aspects. And the reason why his talisman's power was strong was because of the incantation when making the talisman paper. Yes, he did hide it. This Taoist technique was the foundation of his life. He would not teach these things to a strange boy for no reason. But he didn't expect that this boy could learn so fast without the incantation. "You can write?" Gao Jinren asked. "Father, let me go to a private school." Wang Zhong said casually. "Well, your talisman paper is still not good enough. You have to practice more." Gao Jinren was a little unhappy. He was obviously a boy with a low-level spiritual root, but he learned so fast. Maybe he was smarter. Unfortunately, he was a short-lived ghost. Seeing that Gao Jinren was about to leave, Wang Zhong asked, "Master, is there anything else?" Gao Jinren frowned. For his disciple to be stronger than him, Gao Jinren was already unhappy, so his tone was a little impatient. "Disciple has one last question. What do those evil creatures rely on to become strong? Why are there strong and weak evil creatures?" Disciple will join the guide team after the age of 15, so I am very curious about this. "Well, so that's the case." Thinking that Zhao Xiaodong would die sooner or later, Gao Jinren explained. Only now did Wang Zhong understand how evil beings could become so strong. In general, there are many kinds of evil creatures, and many kinds of cultivation methods. There are those who use kindness to enter the Tao. Although this evil creature is evil, but its heart is good. Unfortunately, this way of entering the Tao is full of difficulties. Since ancient times, there were only a few who could enter the Tao. There are also those who absorb the essence of heaven and earth to enter the Tao. Of course, more evil creatures rely on sucking people's essence and blood to cultivate, so people die. However, once these evil creatures suck people's essence and blood, although their cultivation level is very fast, they will also enter the Tao of demons. This is the so-called cycle of karma. These evil creatures can become the overlord of a region, but they can never enter the Tao of heaven. They can only dominate a region in the human world. After listening to Gao Jinren's explanation, Wang Zhong understood. He asked about this because he wanted to make Zhao Rong and the Huang clan stronger. In the future, if he wants to go out of the city, having a powerful evil creature by his side will be a great help. For example, last time in the water, if Zhao Rong didn't remind him of the direction, he would have a more thrilling fight. "Thank you for your reminder, Master. I understand." After understanding this, Wang Zhong thanked him politely. After thinking, he asked, "Master, is there anyone in this world who raises evil creatures? You are a child, but you know so much." Gao Jinren's face was full of curiosity. "I used to like reading about strange stories in the private school, so I know some." Chapter 119. Well, since you asked, I'll tell you. In this world, of course, there are people who raise evil creatures. I know a few big shots who do. Gao Jinren said with a mysterious look. "Who are the big shots?" Gao Jinren was about to say, but seeing Wang Zhong's childish look, he thought about it and waved his hand. Go, go, go. You have so many questions. Let me tell you, it's not that easy to raise evil creatures. You can feed them with blood essence, but that requires a lot of blood essence. This amount isn't something that can be raised by killing a few people. It's tens of thousands. Of course, you can also use your own strength to forcibly raise the evil creature's strength. But which normal expert would do such a stupid thing? But there's another way, and that is to catch other evil creatures and let them devour them one by one. This way, The evil creature raised will become the strongest sooner or later. Unfortunately, this method is also very dangerous. After all, there are strong and weak evil creatures out there. If you accidentally kick an iron plate, I'm afraid you'll be in trouble. Gao Jinren said a little more, and felt a little hungry. He waved his hand and said, "Okay, that's all for today. Ask Sui Sui to bring me some food and wine. I'll be drinking in the house later." "Got it." Seeing Gao Jinren leave, Wang Zhong narrowed his eyes. This guy knew a lot, and he had learned a lot. It was a pity that this guy kept his mouth shut about how to make the talisman stronger. What a pity, what a pity. Then, Wang Zhong found Sui Sui and asked her to bring wine to Gao Jinren. Again, Sui Sui's face was a little bitter. "What's wrong?" Wang Zhong looked at Sui Sui's unhappy face and felt a little strange. That Master Gao's hands are dirty. He likes to bully people. Wang Zhong understood. Previously, he had accidentally seen Gao Jinren touch Sui Sui's thigh. Now it seemed that Gao Jinren was getting bolder. Sui Sui was still a virgin. No matter how powerful Gao Jinren was, Sui Sui didn't like him. "Bring the dishes and wine over." "I'll bring them in." "Yes." Sui Sui left happily. Wang Zhong pushed open the door and entered with food and wine. Seeing that it was Wang Zhong who brought food and wine over, Gao Jinren's expression immediately became displeased. "My disciple, why are you so insensible?" Gao Jinren reprimanded her to her face. Wang Zhong's expression didn't change. "Master, the dishes and wine I brought are all the best signature dishes of my restaurant. How is this not sensible?" "My disciple, didn't Master ask Sui Sui to bring me food and wine? As the host, how can you do this?" "So Master was talking about this. Sui Sui is busy." "Yes. When she's done, you tell her that Master thinks Sui Sui's bones are exceptionally good and suitable for cultivation. When the time comes, I'll examine her body. I guarantee that she won't be afraid of any demons or ghosts," Gao Jinren said proudly. Wang Zhong sneered inwardly. He still wanted to play this trick in his home. After thinking about it, Wang Zhong came up with a plan. After leaving, Wang Zhong found Li Bo. "Please go to Lichuan brothel and find a lady who can talk." "This. Accompany my master for a drink," Wang Zhong said. Li Bo understood. He was speechless. "I didn't expect Master Gao to like this. I'll go find her right away." Soon, Li Bo led a pretty girl in green clothes over. "This is a girl from Lichuan brothel. Her name is Ninger." Li Bo nodded to Ninger. "My young master wants to talk to you about something. Do whatever he wants you to do." After saying that, Li Bo directly left. "Greetings to young Master Zhao." Ninger bowed to Wang Zhong. "My master is inside. Accompany him for a few drinks. Remember, the more you drink, the better." Wang Zhong took out a sum of money. Ninger's eyes lit up. She had long heard that the Zhao family was rich and imposing, so she was willing to come. She didn't expect that she would be given money before she even did her work. She immediately beamed with joy and repeatedly thanked him. "Don't be in a hurry to thank me. There's something more important." Wang Zhong looked around and pulled Ning-er to the side. Ning-er was 2 heads taller than the current Wang Zhong. She had a curious look on her face. She didn't understand what important thing this little brat had to do. "You know Master Gao, right?" Wang Zhong asked. Yes. Of course I know Master Gao. My boss even invited Master Gao to perform a ritual." "Very good. Later, I want you to wait until he drinks too much and ask him some questions." Wang Zhong's expression was serious. "If you do well, I'll reward you with 500 taels of silver. I guarantee you won't have to worry for the rest of your life." Ning-er directly knelt down and kowtowed to Wang Zhong, who wasn't even as tall as her. "Young master, please speak. I, Ning-er, will go all out." Although these women were just prostitutes, they were actually more shrewd than anyone else. This was because they had seen too much of the world's prosperity in people's faces. Therefore, she also understood that what she was about to do next might be really important, and even dangerous. Therefore, she thought about it, and in order to leave a way out for herself, she still said respectfully, "Young master, I'm just a woman. If I can't do what you've arranged, please forgive me." "Don't worry. This isn't dangerous. Remember these questions." After that, Wang Zhong asked a few questions. In general, he wanted to ask Gao Jinren where he kept the books on learning Dao techniques. When he was sober, he definitely wouldn't be able to ask. However, Wang Zhong believed that this person would give himself away after drinking too much. Soon Wang Zhong led Ning to Gao Jinren's room. Knock knock knock. Wang Zhong knocked on the door and shouted, "Master, Sui Sui just went out and didn't have time to come over. However, I brought another woman over." Gao Jinren opened the door unhappily. He was just about to scold Wang Zhong for being so incompetent, but after seeing Ning his eyes lit up. Good disciple. Go do your work." Ning walked over with a smile. "Master Gao." Her voice almost made one go limp. Wang Zhong listened in the next room. He didn't let Zhao Rong go over. After all, no matter how bad Gao Jinren was, he was still a warlock. If Zhao Rong appeared, he would easily discover her. After waiting for about 4 hours, he saw Ning put on her clothes and walk out with a wronged expression. "How was it?" Wang Zhong whispered in the next room. "This guy is too barbaric." Ninger's eyes were red, and she looked like she was about to cry. "Come in and talk." Wang Zhong hurriedly pulled Ning into the room. "Don't worry. That old man is sleeping like a dead pig." Ning said indifferently, "Young master, I got what you wanted me to ask." Wang Zhong was ecstatic. Why did he spend so much effort? It was all for Gao Jinren's skills. He thought that since his father paid 2,000 taels of silver, he could at least learn a few moves. He didn't expect that it was all a bluff. Since Gao Jinren was unrighteous, he shouldn't blame Wang Zhong for being heartless. He should take what he should learn himself. "Where are his books?" Wang Zhong asked. "Young master, I worked so hard just now," Ning said aggrievedly. Chapter 120. Looking at the girl's appearance, Wang Zhong impatiently tossed out a box. Inside the box was a pile of silver. The silver was originally from Zhao Dahai's private stash, but Wang Zhong knew where it was. He believed that his parents would not blame him for taking it. Seeing the silver, Ning thanked him gratefully. "Cut the crap. Where are the books?" "Young master, I didn't find out where they are. You tricked me." Wang Zhong snorted and pulled out the bronze sword from the table, pointing it at Ning soft chest. "If you continue to trick me, I will stab you." Clang! The box containing the silver fell to the ground. Ning quickly replied, "Although I didn't find out where the books were, but I saw them." Ning was so anxious that she was about to cry. She wanted to explain slowly, but she did not expect this young master to have such a bad temper. "Don't play tricks with me. Where are they?" Wang Zhong put away the sword. "When I was undressing him, I saw 2 ancient books in his underwear. Although I don't know a lot of words, I've learned a few words from some scholars. I think the 2 books are called Literary Arts and the other one is called Qi Cultivation. Is it this word?" Wang Zhong thought for a while and wrote the word talisman on the paper. Yes, it is this word. So it is talisman. So it's rune arts. The other one is called Qi Cultivation. It's similar to the abilities that Gao Jinren usually shows. Wang Zhong made up his mind. He waved his hand and said, "Go back. Don't tell anyone about what happened just now. Otherwise, you will be killed. Don't blame others." Ninger's heart skipped a beat. She quickly lowered her head. "Go out and let Li Bo send you back. Otherwise, you will be robbed. Let's go." "Thank you, young master." With regards to this matter, Wang Zhong was not worried that Ning would spread rumors. Just like what he had threatened just now, if he spoke carelessly he would be killed. Moreover, Wang Zhong wasn't afraid that Gao Jinren would know about this. After all, Gao Jinren wasn't an official. He was just a rogue cultivator. Watching Ning leave, Wang Zhong summoned Zhao Rong. "Zhao Rong, guard the door. I'll go into Gao Jinren's room to take a look." As Wang Zhong spoke, he pushed the door open and entered with a cup of tea. On the bed, Gao Jinren was sound asleep. Originally, Wang Zhong thought that Gao Jinren was very vigilant, and that these scriptures would not be easy to take. Therefore, when he came, he had already prepared the excuse of bringing tea into the house. However, when he arrived at the bedside, Gao Jinren was still sleeping soundly without any reaction. "I didn't expect it to be so simple." Wang Zhong shook his head secretly. He had already seen the two books placed beside the pillow. They were rune techniques and qi cultivation. He put the tea on the table and picked up the rune technique book to read. The book wasn't very thick, because he had some foundation before. Wang Zhong didn't seem to be very strenuous. The content in the front is the same as what Gao Jinren taught me. Wang Zhong secretly nodded his head when he saw this. He quickly skimmed through the information. When he finally reached the last chapter, Wang Zhong's eyes suddenly lit up. It said, when the talisman is completed, the talisman paper will only be effective if the talisman paper is blessed with a spell. So it requires a spell. Wang Zhong was delighted and continued reading. The spell is boundless heaven and earth, borrowing power from the universe. At the back was the method to pay attention to when chanting the spell. Generally speaking, when the spell was chanted, the entire body's energy would be spewed out from the mouth. However, the energy described in this book was a spell. Wang Zhong guessed that it was called differently because the inheritance was different. In essence, it was the same through different means. In addition to these, Wang Zhong also saw the refining materials for drawing talismans at the back of the book. He realized that different materials for drawing talismans would produce different effects. For example, yellow talismans were the best paper for drawing talismans. With cinnabar, the effect was very good. However, the best effect was gold water, which was gold ink mixed with gold powder. Talismans drawn with gold powder could produce better effects than talisman paper, even if they were drawn on the window or the palm. However, the problem was that it was too extravagant, and no one could afford to use gold talismans. Gao Jinren was indeed sleeping soundly. After Wang Zhong finished reading the rune technique book, he put it aside and continued to read qi cultivation. He had already cultivated energy, but Wang Zhong knew about some realms, other ways to use energy, and how to increase the efficiency of energy cultivation. He didn't know these 3 points, so he wanted to figure them out. He opened the book, and the first thing introduced was the acupuncture points of the human body. Wang Zhong had learned about the acupuncture points of the human body in his previous life, so he could understand them at a glance. It was introduced that some acupuncture points could allow qi to flow out. With more practice, the acupuncture points would be opened, and qi would gush out from the abdomen and these acupuncture points. This was the progress of cultivation. The more qi there was, the stronger the cultivation. I've been practicing since I was young, and my acupuncture points have been opened. By chance I produce qi. So that's how it is. Wang Zhong thought about it and was happy. So that's how it is. The next few chapters were about the use of qi. If he wanted to become stronger, it was not enough to cultivate qi. He also needed to polish and integrate it. It was the best state to be able to use qi like an arm. For this, Wang Zhong had realized it himself. Now, the qi in his body had been integrated, and could even be attached to the sword. He continued to read. The next chapter focused on how to make qi grow faster, after opening the acupuncture points. One was to practice non-stop. Through practicing martial arts every day, the acupuncture points would always be in the best state. The other was to meditate and do breathing. However, this required the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, which meant that the position had to be good. For example, if you meditated in the toilet, all you inhaled was turbid qi. Not only would you not advance, but you might even lose your cultivation. Cultivators also needed to have their 6 senses clear to always maintain a good state of mind. Otherwise, if the qi was too strong, it would also affect their advancement. Of course, the 6 senses here didn't mean not to get close to women or ignore worldly affairs. It meant that one had to treat it with a normal heart. Otherwise, no matter what, it would be too extreme. This Gao Jinren is greedy and lustful. I'm afraid his realm won't be high. Wang Zhong was mesmerized by the contents of the book and continued to flip through the pages. After that, there was only 1 chapter left. It said, although the laws of heaven and earth can be learned by everyone, there are thousands of things and thousands of people. Some things, after obtaining good fortune, become good fortune. This is a rare treasure. Some people, after obtaining good luck, have great cultivation This is a dragon. There weren't many words, but Wang Zhong had a rough analysis. As the saying goes, there are thousands of things and thousands of people. It probably refers to the physique of people. Different physiques, different cultivation speed. If one's cultivation speed was fast, it would be great. Sooner or later, one would become a dragon among men. My advancement speed is already so fast with a second-level spiritual root. I really don't know how fast people with first-level spiritual roots are. Wang Zhong couldn't help but think of Zhang Tufa's two poor sons. These two were talents with first-level spiritual roots. It was a pity that they died just like that. But how did these two people die? Wang Zhong couldn't help but think of the scene when Zhang Liang died. His life force seemed to have been directly devoured by something. If the so-called masters in the city lord's mansion were all people with evil intentions and deliberately fooled the people, the so-called spiritual root test was probably a part of the conspiracy to get rid of talents with low-level spiritual roots. Their purpose was probably to prevent people with low-level spiritual roots from growing, because the lower the spiritual root, the faster the cultivation. It was a pity that even the cultivator Gao Jinren didn't know about this lie. Wang Zhong looked at the unconscious Gao Jinren and suddenly froze. Gao Jinren actually woke up. Chapter 121. Disciple, why are you in my room? Gao Jinren frowned and glanced at his two treasured books on the bed. Master, Ning, just left and told me that you are always drunk, so I asked the servants to prepare some tea for you to relieve your hangover. Wang Zhong calmly picked up the teacup from the side. Well, you are considerate. Gao Jinren took the teacup and drank it in one gulp. He said happily, that Ning, you found today is not bad. I didn't expect you to know so much at such a young age. You are indeed the son of a rich family. Master, you are too kind. That Ning, was also found by my family's housekeeper, Li Bo, Wang Zhong said respectfully. Well, I will rest for a while. You can go out. After that, Gao Jinren poured tea for himself. Wang Zhong walked out and breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he was prepared in advance. Otherwise he would have to explain for a long time. However, even if he saw it, Wang Zhong was not worried. No matter how powerful Gao Jinren was, he would not kill him, right? Although this world was full of demons and ghosts, killing people in the city was still illegal. Back in his room, Wang Zhong began to draw talismans according to what he had learned from the book. Heaven and earth, 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 heaven and earth. The essence of the energy gushed out and attached to the talisman paper. After drawing a safety talisman and picking it up, Wang Zhong was happy. The aura on it was much stronger than Gao Jinren's. This is my first talisman, and it already has such an effect. If I am proficient in it, it will be several times stronger than Gao Jinren's. If he knows about this, I am afraid he will be jealous to death. After these days of contact, Wang Zhong knew that Gao Jinren was not only greedy and lustful, but also narrow-minded and competitive. So after thinking about it, he hid the talismans he had refined in the cupboard, and only kept the failed talismans. Now that I've learned enough from Gao Jinren, it's time to find an opportunity to let him leave. Wang Zhong thought to himself. Although he called Gao Jinren master, in the end, the two of them only had a monetary relationship. He had never sincerely taken him as a disciple, so there was no need for him to respect him as his master. But now Wang Zhong had something more important to do. Just now, when he thought about how Zhang Liang had died, he guessed that it was most likely done by those masters. Then, it was very likely that they had done it to Zhang Liang during the spirit root test. From the looks of it, he felt that his body had been tampered with as well. If he wanted to survive in the future, he would have to go against those masters sooner or later. Therefore, he had to solve this problem in advance. Wang Zhong checked his own pulse, and sure enough, he found that there was a happy sign in his stomach. The pulse is the same as Zhang Liang's before he died. The deaths of those people were indeed related to this pulse. Wang Zhong frowned. This feeling was as if someone had planted a goo in his body, and there was a time bomb in his body that could explode at any time. If this bomb was not removed, he would never be able to rest in peace. Thinking of this, he began to try to let the gas flow in his stomach. Unfortunately, the gas was too weak. Although he could faintly feel that there was something in his stomach, the gas was washed away by this thing as soon as it went over. Looks like I have to increase my strength, Wang Zhong thought to himself. After a few more days, Gao Jinren would come over to check on Wang Zhong's learning. Wang Zhong would use some ordinary talismans to deal with him. Sometimes he even deliberately drew them poorly. Looking at these poor talisman papers, Gao Jinren laughed in his heart. It seemed that the reason why he could draw so well last time was because of this kid's extraordinary performance. Like I said, how could a short-lived guy with a mere level 2 spirit root have such good talent? Disciple, these talismans are really bad. You really disappoint me. Sai, you're so stubborn. No matter how I teach you, you won't learn. Gao Jinren's tone was as if he expected better from Lu Cheng. But in fact, he was happy. He liked the feeling of teaching people a lesson. I'm sorry, master. This disciple is stupid, Wang Zhong said. Well, if you go on like this, it seems that you won't be able to learn. Master can't do anything about it. But don't worry. Master promised your father that I will let you live for a few more days. Master, I don't know what you can do? Wang Zhong asked. People with short lifespans die because they don't have much lifespan left. That's why they die when evil creatures get close to them. When the time comes, I will make some methods for you to resist evil creatures. Wang Zhong nodded. Although Gao Jinren didn't understand the core of this world, he could see that people with short lifespans didn't die because they didn't have much lifespan left, but because evil creatures got close to them. Master, have you seen the evil creatures that killed those people with short lifespans? Why didn't the masters in the city lord's mansion deal with them? Wang Zhong asked deliberately. My cultivation is too low. I can only vaguely sense those evil creatures, but I can't see them. As for the big shots in the city lord's mansion, how can we guess their thoughts? Gao Jinren shook his head slightly. Besides, people with short lifespans are already dying. Even if they save them, they won't live for long. What's the use of saving them? Wang Zhong despised Gao Jinren's IQ in his heart, but on the surface, he still respectfully saluted. Master, you are right. Young master. At this time, the housekeeper Uncle Chen entered the room and shouted, Young master, Lin Wu's mother is here. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. Why is her mother here? I'm not sure. Master and madam are receiving her now. She said she wants to see you. Uncle Chen's face was a little awkward. I'm afraid she has something to tell you. It seems like she's here to break off the engagement. Wang Zhong guessed. Previously, when he was tested to only have a level 2 spiritual root, the Lin family's attitude towards him immediately changed. After that, Lin Wu's mother directly pulled her family away. Now it seems that she came alone to discuss the matter of breaking off the engagement. I'm not sure, but looking at her, she doesn't look very happy. Uncle Chen responded. I'll go out and take a look. Wang Zhong helplessly shook his head. Although Lin Wu clearly said last time that she didn't mind his identity as a short-lived person, Lin Wu was still young and immature. If her family really didn't want to talk about this marriage, then it's fine. Master, I'll go out and take a look first. Wang Zhong turned to Gao Jinren and said. Go. Gao Jinren waved his hand indifferently. Wang Zhong walked out. Before he even entered the main hall, he heard a woman say from afar. Old Zhao Ayan, my husband has been busy recently and hasn't come to see you recently. Please don't mind. Wang Zhong immediately knew that this voice belonged to Lin Wu's mother Xiaoji. Speaking of which, this Xiaoji and Lin Wu looked very similar. They were both top beauties, but her temper was a little petty, and she liked to haggle over every little thing. In the past, the Zhao family was very good. Before the spiritual roots were tested, she was naturally 100% willing to betroth her to him. But now it was different. No matter how good Wang Zhong's background was, he was still a short-lived person. Who would be willing to marry their daughter to a kid who wouldn't live past 20? Wasn't this pushing their own daughter into a fire pit? I don't mind. Sister Xiao, I'll get the servants to prepare some dishes. You can stay and eat. Wei Yin knew the purpose of the other party's visit. She forced a smile and said, That's not necessary. I'm here this time to see Xiao Dong, Xiaoji said. Xiao Dong has been learning from Taoist Gao these days. I've already asked Uncle Chen to call him, Zhao Dahai said. That's good. Speaking of Xiao Dong, I also like him from the bottom of my heart. What a pity. I didn't expect his spiritual roots to be so. Auntie Xiao. Wang Zhong walked out. Yes, Xiao Dong. Xiaoji smiled. Auntie Xiao brought some gifts for you. As she spoke, Xiaoji took out a basket from behind her. She was very polite to bring some pastries. I made these myself a while ago. If you like them, I'll bring more for you in the future. Thank you, Auntie. Wang Zhong accepted the basket without hesitation. These are all my favorites. Thank you. Seeing that Wang Zhong was so sensible at such a young age, Xiaoji sighed in her heart. What a sensible child. As for Wang Zhong, she actually liked him from the bottom of her heart. But no matter how sensible he was going to die young. Her daughter couldn't be a widow at such a young age. Forget it, I'll be the ugly one. Xiaoji thought for a while and said, Xiao Dong, Auntie is here today to talk to you about something. Chapter 122. Wei Yin did not say anything and sat back down helplessly. Zhao Dahai was depressed. He could not avoid this. The Lin family was finally here to cancel the engagement. Okay, Auntie, go ahead. Wang Zhong nodded indifferently. It's like this. I've been reading Lin Wu's fortune these days. The fortune teller said that Lin Wu can only get married when she's older. She should be in her 20s, so. Wang Zhong was amused. This Auntie Xiao was interesting. She purposely made up such an excuse to save face for both families. Now that everyone knew that Wang Zhong would not live past his 20s, she purposely made up such an excuse. Zhao Dahai snorted. Xiaoji, you don't have to say anymore. The engagement was made when we were young, so. Wait. Suddenly, a shout came from the door. Lin Prefecture rushed in panting. Brother Lin. Zhao Dahai stood up. I have something to say. Lin Prefecture walked in and glanced at Xiaoji. Laolin, I'm in charge of this now. Go away. Xiaoji panicked. Xiaoji, I usually listen to you, but not this time. Lin Prefecture walked in front of Zhao Dahai. Old Zhao, I've thought about it. When Xiao Wu is 14 or 15 years old, she and Xiao Dong will get married. Wang Zhong was so shocked that he almost lost his balance. What was the meaning of this? Lin Wu was 15 years old, and he was only 12. His body was not even fully grown yet. However, after Lin Prefecture said this, Zhao Dahai and Wei Yin stood up in shock. Laolin, you. Zhao Dahai's eyes were red. He was extremely agitated. Hey, don't say any more. You and I are brothers. How can we cancel the engagement just like that? What will others think of me in the future? But my son Xiao Dong has spirit root. I know that my spiritual roots are low, but so what? Words that have been spoken are like water that has been splashed out. A promise has to be kept. This matter has been decided. When the time comes, you just have to choose the date. Lin Zhou waved his hand in a domineering manner, before looking at Wang Zhong and saying, What do you say, Xiaodong? Wang Zhong said, Lin Shu, actually, you don't have to do this. Xiao Wu and I are still young. You won't be able to wait any longer. You'll get married when you're 12, and Xiao Wu can give birth to a chubby son as soon as possible. Lin Prefecture's boss said domineeringly. Laolin, you want to kill your daughter. Shueji was so anxious that she was trembling. She walked to the door and shouted, Anyway, I don't agree to this marriage. After saying that, she left without looking back. Old Zhao Yen, don't worry about my family, Lin Prefecture said indifferently. This, you guys should discuss it. Although Zhao Dahai also liked Xiao Wu, in all fairness, if Xiao Wu was his daughter, he would not be willing to let his daughter marry someone with a short lifespan. There's no need to discuss it. I'll make the decision. Alright, Xiao Wu also knows about it. I'll take my leave first. Lin Prefecture cupped his hands and said goodbye. After he left, Zhao Dahai sighed. What a good person. Laolin is a good person. But in this way, he will hurt Xiao Wu. Xiaodong, what do you think? Wei Yin sighed. We'll see in the future. It's too early to say, Wang Zhong said. This matter was over. After 2 days, Wang Zhong was almost done learning from Gao Jinren. He was thinking about how to ask Gao Jinren to leave. After all, this guy not only ate and drank well in his house, but also flirted with the 2 maids in the house. Zhao Dahai and Wei Yan were secretly dissatisfied with him. This morning, Zhao Dahai suddenly pulled Wang Zhong into the house. Xiao Dong, father wants to ask you something. Zhao Dahai's face was serious. Wei Yan was also staring at him from the side. Wang Zhong was a little scared. Father, mother, it's so early in the morning. Why are you in such a hurry? Wang Zhong asked. Xiao Dong, do you know the silver that father put under the bed? Have you touched it? Zhao Dahai asked. Yes, I did. Didn't I tell you last time? Wang Zhong then told Uncle Li about how he had asked Uncle Li to invite Ning over to seduce Gao Jin. But that time you said that you only took 500 taels. But now, our house is short of 2,000 taels. We have a total of a few thousand taels. How can it be so much less? Zhao Dahai asked anxiously. If he didn't know that Wang Zhong was a sensible child, and that a child from an ordinary family took so much money, he would have slapped him. Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. So much less. Wei Yan nodded. Your father and I don't usually look at the wealth there. It's just that the inn needs to be renovated these days, and needs a batch of silver. We didn't expect that the silver would be gone. Don't worry, I'll help you sort it out. Wang Zhong looked behind him and closed the door. Our family has never had any theft for so many years. Now there's only one outsider in the house. Xiao Dong, you're saying that Master Gao. Wei Yan lowered her voice. It can't be. Master Gao is a person of virtue and prestige. Before Zhao Dahai could finish, Wei Yan stood on Wang Zhong's side and said, I think Xiao Dong guessed right. That Master Gao doesn't act like a master at all. He often eats Sui's tofu and stares at me strangely several times. Once, Butler Li Bo told me that this person went to the inn to eat and ordered a lot of food without paying. I've been too embarrassed to say anything. Father, mother, this matter isn't difficult to deal with. Gao Jinren won't leave home these days anyway, so he must have the silver with him. I'll find a chance to check. Yes, we must be careful. After all, Master Gao is a person who knows magic. If we annoy him, we commoners will have to bear the consequences. Zhao Dahai reminded them seriously, and then shook his head in annoyance. You may know a person for a long time, but you can't judge his heart from his face. After living for so long, I actually let a wolf into the house. Alas, don't worry. Wang Zhong thought to himself. Although that Gao Jinren knew magic, after these days of contact, that guy was actually a dabbler. Otherwise, he would have been targeted by the real masters in the city lord's residence. If he really calculated, that guy's strength was probably not as good as his. After breakfast, Wang Zhong kept thinking about how to investigate this matter. Ever since the neighbors found out about his low spiritual root, the inn's business had decreased a lot. The silver was worth a lot, and was equivalent to 10 years of his family's income. Of course, Wang Zhong wouldn't let Gao Jinren take it away so easily. Holding the tea, Wang Zhong walked towards Gao Jinren's room. He didn't expect Gao Jinren to open the door at this time. Gao Jinren stretched and yawned. He said, Disciple, you're so early. I knew that master would wake up around this time, so I specially brought you some tea. Wang Zhong stood at the door and said respectfully, Well, thank you. Put it on the table. Gao Jinren entered the room and said casually. Wang Zhong entered the room and glanced around. He was surprised to find that Gao Jinren's luggage was neatly packed. Master, are you going to leave now that you've packed your luggage? Wang Zhong put down the tea and asked. Well, there are a few places that need my help. I have to go and take a look. Anyway, I've taught you almost everything. The rest is up to you to comprehend on your own. Do you understand? Wang Zhong didn't reply. This Gao Jinren's attitude was a little too obvious. He took the money and wanted to leave. He probably thought that they didn't know that the money was lost. After all, he didn't look at that place often. Master, are you really not going to stay for a few more days? No, you're very sensible. I'm very pleased. If there's anything you don't understand in the future, come to my place to find me. Do you understand? Gao Jinren smiled slightly. In that case, let your disciple carry your luggage for you. With that, Wang Zhong didn't wait for Gao Jinren to reply and picked up his luggage. Gao Jinren's expression changed. No. However, it was too late. At this moment, Wang Zhong had already picked up the largest bag. Just by lifting it, the heavy weight caused Wang Zhong to feel troubled. This is really heavy. Wang Zhong threw the bag on the ground. Although the cloth bag was tightly wrapped, there were too many things inside. With just a throw, a lot of silver spilled on the ground. Wang Zhong picked up the other 2 bags. Sure enough, these bags were heavy as well. Opening them up, he saw that they were filled with sparkling white silvers. Master, my parents told me that a few thousand taels of silver were lost at home. I thought it was done by rats, but now it seems that it was done by someone else. Chapter 123. Being exposed by Wang Zhong in front of everyone made Gao Jinren feel ashamed. Especially when he was dealing with a little kid. But the words he said were unhurried, as if Zhao Xiaodong entered the house to catch dirt. Gao Jinren's face turned ugly. He looked outside the door and asked worriedly, "Your parents are outside too?" Wang Zhong shook his head. "No." "Oh." Gao Jinren did not believe him. He even went to the door to take a look. Sure enough, there was no one there. He sneered and quickly closed the door. He said to Wang Zhong, "Good disciple." Master was confused for a moment. "As long as you don't tell anyone about this, Master will bestow you with a life treasure and a high-level secret technique. How about it?" "Is that so? Let me see." Wang Zhong nodded. Gao Jinren took out a small knife from his bag. "This knife is an artifact blessed by your ancestor. It can cut iron like mud. Take it." After saying that, he nodded and said, "As for the high-level secret technique, I will write it out for you in a few days. Don't worry." Wang Zhong looked at the knife and sneered. "Master, do you really think of me as a child?" "What do you mean?" Gao Jinren's eyes narrowed and his tone became cold. "This knife is trash." Wang Zhong's tone was calm and indisputable. This knife's body was rough, and the edge was a little curled. How could it be a good knife? Besides, with Gao Jinren's character, why would he really give him something good? He probably saw that he was a child and tricked him. Ha ha ha, Zhao Xiaodong, you're really different from other kids. If I didn't know that you really have a level 2 spiritual root talent, I would have thought that you were a level 6 or 7 spiritual root talent. While speaking, Gao Jinren approached Wang Zhong step by step. Unfortunately, you are too smart. Don't you know that people who show off their abilities die quickly? Is that so? This saber of mine is indeed not a good saber, but it can kill. Gao Jinren's eyes flashed with killing intent. For him, killing people was indeed troublesome, but Zhao Xiaodong was just a child. When the time came, he could secretly find a place to bury Zhao Xiaodong. When others asked, they would say that Zhao Xiaodong had not returned. Who would know that he was the one who killed Zhao Xiaodong? Even if Zhao Dahai and his wife had their suspicions, who would accept it without any evidence? At this moment, he had almost thought of all his escape routes. You want to kill me? Wang Zhong's gaze was calm. Child, remember this in your next life. It's better to be a little foolish, so that you won't die so early again. With that, Gao Jinren stretched out his hand toward Wang Zhong, ready to strangle Wang Zhong and throw him into the river when it was dark. At that time, everyone would think that Zhao Xiaodong had drowned. Who knew that at this moment, Wang Zhong's tender little fist would come smashing towards him. Whoosh! Before the fist arrived, a fierce tiger appeared in front of Wang Zhong's fist. This fierce tiger quickly smashed towards Gao Jinren, causing him to be shocked. Bang! Gao Jinren let out a muffled groan. This tiger had actually smashed directly into his chest, and his entire body was sent flying. Gao Jinren clutched his chest, his face revealing a painful expression. Good. Good boy. Who did you learn this secret art from? It's actually so powerful. Wang Zhong did not answer, and just walked over. Good. Good disciple, your master admits defeat. I'll give you everything in my hand. Who would have thought that this Gao Jinren would be so shameless to directly admit defeat? I have my secret art in my bosom. I'll pass it to you now. And then I'll leave immediately. With that, Gao Jinren took out a piece of talisman paper and suddenly shouted, "Killing talisman!" Although this kind of talisman was mainly used to deal with evil beings, but if the power inside was slightly modified, it could also be used to deal with people. As the talisman paper was thrown, Wang Zhong felt a sharp force from the talisman turning into sharp thorns, attacking him. Without saying anything, Wang Zhong grabbed the table beside him and used his strength to block the whole table in front of him. Bang, bang, bang. A series of invisible thorns pierced the table, making a muffled sound. Wang Zhong threw away the table and quietly took out the talisman paper from his bosom. You want to compete with me on talisman paper? Gao Jinren took out several pieces of talisman paper with both hands and said ferociously, "Little bastard. Your ability was taught by me. You want to compete with your master with your unruly rune technique? Tell me honestly, where did you learn the martial arts that you just practiced? Who's strong and who's weak, we'll know after we try. Reckless little bastard. Forget it, I'll get rid of you first. Then I'll capture your parents and slowly interrogate them." After fighting for so long, Gao Jinren guessed that Zhao Xiaodong must have obtained a great opportunity, so he could have such a skill. And he guessed that this opportunity was not small, otherwise how could he be so powerful? Thinking of this, his eyes were burning with passion. As long as he obtained this opportunity, his cultivation would improve, and he might be recognized by Master White and Master Wu. From then on, he would enter the city lord's mansion and be an official. He would be considered a member of the imperial court. With this thought flashing through his mind, both sides threw out their talismans. Just in case, Gao Jinren threw out a total of 4 talismans, while Wang Zhong only had 1. Gao Jinren was overjoyed, thinking that he would definitely be able to get rid of Zhao Xiaodong this time. But in the next moment, the talisman paper that Wang Zhong threw out emitted a tyrannical airflow, instantly sending his talisman paper flying. Then, without losing momentum, it turned into countless needles and attacked him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The needles pierced Gao Jinren's chest one by one. Puff! Gao Jinren spat out a mouthful of dirty blood and fell to the ground. You! Gao Jinren wanted to speak, but several needles had already pierced his neck, making him unable to speak. Wang Zhong approached him step by step and picked up the curled knife. Your talisman paper. How? I've been practicing talisman paper these days. Do you think I'll be as useless as you? Only able to refine those trashy talisman papers after decades? Wang Zhong shook his head and said softly, I still have big secrets, big opportunities. I'll give them to you. I'll give them all to you. There's no need. With a slight flick of the knife, the little leaf flying knife was launched, and the flying knife accurately pierced Gao Jinren's trachea in the neck. This knife did not touch the aorta, so it did not cause blood to splatter on the ground. Gao Jinren covered his neck and gasped for breath. After a while, he completely stopped breathing. Such a big corpse, it's really troublesome. Wang Zhong sighed softly. At this time, a voice came from outside. Son, I just passed by the roast chicken shop. I brought you a crispy roast chicken. Eat it while it's hot. Zhao Dahai's voice came from outside. Wang Zhong walked out. Zhao Dahai was stunned. Son, why did you come out of Master Gao's house? Father, don't be nervous about what I'm going to say next. I found the silver. It was Gao Jinren who took it. I didn't expect a master to do such a thing. I went in and told him that as long as he paid, I wouldn't argue with him. Zhao Dahai pushed the door and entered the house. The scene in front of him frightened Zhao Dahai. The roast chicken in his hand trembled and fell to the ground. Wang Zhong's eyes were sharp and his hands were quick. He caught the roast chicken and closed the door. He said calmly, Father, don't panic. Chapter 124. Zhao Dahai swallowed a mouthful of saliva and turned his head to look at his incomparably calm son. Son, you, why did you kill someone? It's over. Originally, I could have let you wait until you're 20, but you killed someone. If the officials find out, you'll be beheaded. Father, you already said that you would only exchange a life for a life if the officials knew about it. However, no one knows about it yet, said Wang Zhong. You mean? Our house is very big. Tonight we'll find a place and bury him. Then we'll throw his luggage into the river in the city, creating the illusion that he fell into the water. At that time, everyone will only think that Gao Jinren fell into the water. As for the corpse, we'll look for it for a few days at most. If we can't find it, everyone will only think that he was eaten by an evil creature. Zhao Dahai really couldn't imagine that such a meticulous plan came from his obedient son. Son, but why did you kill him? Zhao Dahai asked worriedly. Wang Zhong told him what happened before, and finally said, At that time, if I didn't do it, I would have died. But he's so powerful. Wang Zhong muttered to himself for a moment. Although he had absolute faith in his parents, he had a level 2 spirit root, and it was very likely that he had already been targeted by the masters in the city lord's residence. The less his parents knew about this, the better. Thus he replied, I took him by surprise and suddenly killed him. After a while, Zhao Dahai finally accepted the reality in front of him. He gritted his teeth and said, This Gao Jinren is a master, but he committed theft. After he was found out, he even wanted to kill you. Damn it, son, don't worry. I'll dig a hole with you tonight. At night, Zhao Dahai and Wang Zhong came to the backyard and began to dig a hole. In the middle of the night, the two wrapped up Gao Jinren's corpse and buried it in the hole. Then they filled in the hole with new soil, making it seamless. When they were working, Zhao Rong, the little ghost girl, and the Huang clan kept a lookout for them. After all, the fewer people who knew about this, the better. Even the maids and housekeepers had to be kept in the dark. A few days later, there were rumors in the city that Grandmaster Gao Jinren had not been seen for several days. Then, someone found Master Gao Jinren's belongings in the river. His two most important books were also fished out of the river and handed over to the constables in the city. For a moment, some people guessed that Grandmaster Gao Jinren might have been dragged into the river by some evil creature. Half a year later, there was less and less news about Gao Jinren. Finally, everyone confirmed that Master Gao was dead. Not even his corpse was left behind. Poor guy. During this period, Wang Zhong also found a manuscript among Gao Jinren's belongings. It clearly recorded the formulas and effects of some medicinal herbs. These formulas were all side rooms. For example, if a child was approached by an evil creature, it would be useless to use ordinary formulas. They had to use some Taoist formulas, just like the spiritual root ash he drank when he was young. In order to test his spiritual root better, Zhao Dahai spent 100 taels of silver to buy a bowl. After drinking it, it was said that it had the effect of strengthening one's spiritual root. After seeing the effect of the spiritual root ash, Wang Zhong was overjoyed. In fact, this thing was a kind of slow-acting medicine that suppressed one's strength. After taking it, it could suppress one's original innate strength and weaken one's bloodline. For example, if a person with a level 3 spiritual root took this medicine, he would be tested as a level 4 spiritual root. A level 4 spiritual root would be tested as a level 5 spiritual root. After he took this medicine, he was tested as a level 2 spiritual root. This meant that his original spiritual root talent should be level 1. I didn't expect my spiritual root talent to be level 1. This is not bad. Wang Zhong clenched his fist, full of confidence. Xiao Dong. At this time, Lin Wu quietly walked in. Xiao Wu. Wang Zhong was slightly surprised. He hadn't seen Xiao Wu since the Lin couple left the Lin prefecture. It had been half a year. During this period of time, Xiao Wu had changed a lot. In the past, she still looked like a little girl. Now she was much more graceful. Are you practicing boxing again? Xiao Wu looked at the sandbag and asked curiously. Yes, long time no see. How have you been? Recently, I've been locked up at home by my mother. Locked you up? Wang Zhong was stunned. Then, he realized that Xiao Wu's mother was worried that Xiao Wu would come over, so she grounded her. This was normal. In ancient times, Women usually couldn't show their faces in public before marriage. Otherwise, they would be seen as indecent. Why are you out again this time? I'm here to see you. After Lin Wu finished speaking, she realized that her words were inappropriate. She quickly explained, it's mainly about boxing. I don't know much about it, so I'm here to ask you. Well, okay then. Show me what you've learned recently. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. Lin Wu's eyes became serious. She aimed her fists at the sandbag in front of her and quickly punched. Bang 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 bang. Her fists were much more powerful than before. However, she only had a level 7 spiritual root, so she didn't have any spiritual root talent. After practicing for a while, Lin Wu panted and stopped. Xiaodong, I've been practicing these days. How is it? Wang Zhong didn't want to hurt her confidence. He praised very good. You've become much more powerful. In the long run, you can even deal with evil things. Can I deal with evil things? Lin Wu's eyes lit up. Wang Zhong thought for a while. He felt that although Lin Wu's talent wasn't good, she could cultivate inner qi by opening her acupoints. As long as her acupoints were opened, no matter how bad her talent was, she could still cultivate inner qi. It was just that her cultivation speed would be slower in the future. Xiaowu, of course you can deal with evil things. If you want, I can give you a massage to open your acupoints. In the future, you can easily cultivate inner qi. Although Lin Wu was sensible, she was completely clueless about massage and acupuncture points. She didn't understand anything at all. However, she still understood the words cultivate inner qi. Her eyes lit up. You can really help me cultivate inner qi. Wang Zhong nodded. I learned from Taoist Gao a few days ago. He taught me all this. This explanation was flawless. Lin Wu didn't have any doubts. She quickly replied, well, thank you so much. Let's go to my room. After half an hour, Lin Wu was only left with belly beans. Although Lin Wu was still young, only around 10 years old, she knew a lot about some things. At this moment, her young and tender cheeks were flushed red. Xiaodong, do you have to do this? What's wrong with this? What are you thinking? Wang Zhong frowned. He thought, I'm only 7 years old. I didn't even say anything. Why are you talking about it? No, nothing. It's just that there's a difference between men and women. I'm only 7 years old. Oh, Lin Wu thought so too. She closed her eyes and said, come on, I can handle it. Then, Wang Zhong touched a few acupoints. Inner qi gushed out. A huge force was like a storm, destroying everything. Ah! Lin Wu let out a blood-curdling scream. Immediately after, she felt her entire body become much lighter and lighter. After a series of tremors, Lin Wu's initial screams turned into soft grunts. Hum, finally it was almost done. Wang Zhong got up, shook his sleeves and nodded. Now let's go out and try it. Okay. Lin Wu got up and felt that her body had become much lighter. Especially around her lower abdomen, there was a faint breath of air. She didn't think much about it. She put on her clothes and followed Wang Zhong out. Attack the sandbag with all your strength. Let me see your strength, Wang Zhong said. Chapter 125. Yes. Facing Wang Zhong, Lin Wu did not know why, but she felt that she could not be disappointed. Her whole body tensed up, she stretched out her arm, and with a light shout the crane fist rushed out. When using the crane fist, Lin Wu felt that it was different from before. In the past, when she used the crane fist, she always felt that her body was heavy, and there was a feeling that she did not have enough strength. But this time, when she used the crane fist, all the pores on her body seemed to open up. Although the fist was light, the strength of the punch was obviously increased. Bang! This punch, before it even touched the sandbag seemed to be blown by a strong wind and slightly swayed. When the punch reached, the sandbag was directly sent flying, and it was shaking. This punch, naturally, was not as ordinary as Wang Zhong's punch, but the effect was much better than before. It could be said that even if an ordinary strong man were to fight with Lin Wu, he would not be her opponent. This was the difference between a cultivator and an ordinary person. As long as there was qi, no matter how weak it would be much stronger than an ordinary person. This is my punch? Looking at the sandbag in front of her flying, Lin Wu did not dare to believe it. How is it, do you feel qi in your body? Wang Zhong held onto the sandbag and turned his head to ask. Lin Wu's little head nodded. Your massage is really useful. So you didn't lie to me, I thought. Wang Zhong's face darkened. What did you think? Don't tell me you thought that I wanted to take advantage of you? After saying that, Wang Zhong was speechless. He was only 7 years old. Was he that kind of person? Lin Wu laughed. But from what I see, you don't look like a 7-year-old kid at all. When I'm with you, you look like a little adult. I really don't know how you grew up. You're already like this now. When you grow up, I don't know what you'll be like. After saying that, Lin Wu seemed to have thought of something, and her face suddenly darkened. It's better if you don't grow up. Why do you say that? Because your spirit root is only at the 2nd level. Lin Wu said in disappointment, but she suddenly raised her head and said, Xiao Dong, don't worry, I won't abandon you. Although mother won't allow our marriage, I will definitely marry you. When the time comes, the rice will be cooked, and mother won't say anything. When you die in your 20s, I will properly live as a widow, and will definitely not fool around. Wang Zhong stood there dumbfounded. This Lin Wu seemed to know a lot. He found it funny and said, I'm so young, and you already like me? I didn't have any feelings for you before, but after interacting with you, I feel that you're very capable. Lin Wu's face was bright red, and she looked particularly cute. Let's talk about these things later. Before I'm sure how long I can live, there's no need to get married, Wang Zhong said indifferently. No. Lin Wu came over and pulled Wang Zhong's small hand, her big eyes blinking. I know you're worried about my mother, but I'm actually fine. When the time comes, the rice will be cooked, and you can get me pregnant. Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong felt that he was at risk of collapsing on this topic, so he simply changed the topic. All right, I think we should continue talking about the problem with your martial arts just now. Did you feel a trace of qi just now? Speaking of serious matters, Lin Wu quickly nodded. Yes, I felt a trace of qi. And this qi is strength, and it's also an important sign of becoming a cultivator. Congratulations, Xiao Wu. From today onwards, you've successfully become a cultivator. I'm a cultivator? Lin Wu was stunned for a while and said in surprise. You mean, I'm a cultivator like Master Wu and Master White? That's right. It's that simple. Lin Wu never thought that becoming a cultivator would be so simple. This was simply inconceivable. Although you're a cultivator, there are strong and weak cultivators among cultivators. You can only be regarded as a cultivator at the lowest level. You can deal with some evil beings, but you still can't deal with the strong ones. What you need to do now is practice more. I understand, I'll work hard. Lin Wu was full of confidence. There's one more important thing you have to remember. Wang Zhong put his hand on Lin Wu's shoulder and said seriously. Remember, you can't tell anyone that you're a cultivator, not even your parents. Why? This world is not the same as what we know. Sometimes you might not even know who the enemy is. In short, remember, if you're a cultivator, the stronger you are, the more people will target you. At that time, not only you, but also your parents' lives will be in danger, understand? Wang Zhong didn't say it explicitly. After all, Lin Wu was still young. If he told her casually, at such a young age, it was hard to guarantee that she wouldn't be able to hide it. I know, I won't tell anyone. Lin Wu nodded. After that, Wang Zhong let Lin Wu continue to practice her strength, and casually gave her a few pointers, which benefited Lin Wu a lot. In the following days, Lin Wu would always take the opportunity to sneak away from home to come here and learn from Wang Zhong. Perhaps because of the practice, the short Lin Wu grew a lot taller. The originally small place also gradually became bigger under Wang Zhong's eyes. The sun rose and set, and spring came from the east. In the blink of an eye, Wang Zhong was 12 years old. During this period, he would only go out during the day when he had something to do. Usually he would train at home. Now it was easy for him to deal with the evil creatures in the city, so he no longer sought to deal with the evil creatures in the city. Instead, he took Zhao Rong with him and tried to let Zhao Rong absorb these evil creatures. Previously, Gao Jinren had told him that there were many ways for evil creatures to grow. Under the condition that they didn't harm people, the simplest way was to devour other evil creatures. However, he later found that evil creatures couldn't directly devour each other, because Zhao Rong didn't know how to do it at all. Therefore, Wang Zhong guessed that evil creatures also needed to practice some kind of martial arts. This martial arts was a medium for them to devour other creatures. Therefore, Wang Zhong could only give up. Seeing that it was almost the new year, Lin Wu came a lot less often. On this day, snowflakes were floating in the sky. Wang Zhong finished his practice and went back to his room to practice drawing talismans. After drawing for a while, Zhao Rong said behind him, "Xiao Wu must be very good at practicing martial arts now. Unfortunately, it seems that she still can't see me." Wang Zhong nodded. He also noticed this. Although Lin Wu had cultivated qi, she still couldn't see evil creatures. Therefore, he guessed that this was probably a kind of talent. He had a level 1 spiritual root. At that time, he could already see evil creatures without cultivating qi. However, Lin Wu still couldn't. It could only be said that her talent was not good. As the two were talking, they heard a noise outside. Wang Zhong opened the door and saw Zhao Dahai and his mother, Wei Yan, walking over. "Outrageous! Our son saved that little bastard. How dare he tear down our son's corner? Ba ba!" Zhao Dahai cursed angrily. "Lower your voice," Wei Yan advised. "Can you lower your voice? Who on this street doesn't know that Laolin and I have already arranged a marriage between Xiao Dong and Lin Wu? That Sun Dazhuang directly asked a matchmaker to matchmake them. Isn't he tearing down our son's corner? Xiao Dong shouldn't have saved that little bastard." Hearing his parents arguing, Wang Zhong walked out helplessly. "Father, mother. Yes, you heard what they said just now." Zhao Dahai's face was gloomy. "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded. "They've decided." "I also heard from the aunt next door. Sun Dazhuang asked the nearby matchmaker Yang to help his son Dainyu go to the Lin family to matchmake." Wei Yan sighed. "Son, don't worry. If you can't marry Xiao Wu, we'll find you a better one." Chapter 126. After Wei Yan finished speaking, both of them felt a little sour in their hearts. Although Wei Yan said so, both of them understood that their son would not live past 20 years. Who would want their daughter to marry a short-lived man? Even if she married him, she would probably not find a good one. Those women who married into the family would definitely covet the family's wealth. When Xiao Dong died at 20 years old, she would definitely remarry. Thinking of this, Wei Yan's eyes turned red again. "It's okay. No matter what, the Zhao family has to pass down the legacy. I will find some women for you these days," Zhao Dahai said. "Well, Song Xiaoxiao in the east of the city is not bad. Although her husband died 2 years ago, she doesn't have any children," Wei Yan said. Zhao Dahai nodded. "The girl in the west of the city is also not bad. Although she has 2 children, she is down to earth and hardworking. By the way, Li Qin is also not bad. She is only 18 years old. Although her parents are dead and she is alone, there are many matchmakers," Wei Yan said. "Li Qin is not bad, but she has buck teeth and is only 1 meters tall. That's not a big deal, as long as she can bear children. Father and mother are worried that I won't be able to marry, so they are introducing widows and unwanted girls to me." Wang Zhong hurriedly stopped. "Father, I am only 12. It's okay. Those young masters already have maids to warm their rooms when they are 10 years old. What are you afraid of?" Zhao Dahai glared at him. "Listen to me on this matter. You should work hard and try to give birth to a few fat sons. My Zhao family didn't have many children in my generation, and I regret it to death. Now it's up to you." "Father, there is really no need." Before Wang Zhong could finish speaking, Wei Yan interrupted him and said, "Son, you should listen to your father on this matter. Although you have been tested to have a level 2 spiritual root, our Zhao family's rules are good. It won't be a problem for us to find a few wives. Although those are widows, they can still make do. Therefore, the couple ignored Wang Zhong's strong protest and left while discussing. Wang Zhong was a little dumbfounded. What was this? He really didn't need to get married so early. In the evening, Wang Zhong heard from the neighbors that Sun Dazhuang had invited matchmaker Yang to bring a lot of gifts to the Lin family. However, he didn't know if he had succeeded or not. Little brother, I think Xiao Wu is also interested in you. You should seize the opportunity. Otherwise, are you really willing to see Xiao Wu marry Sun Daniu? At night, Zhao Rong sighed as she watched Wang Zhong practice drawing talismans. Wang Zhong put down the brush and sighed. I still don't know what my fate will be in the future. I'm afraid that I'll delay Xiao Wu if I decide my life too early. But if you let Xiao Wu marry Sun Daniu, what if Xiao Wu is unwilling? Zhao Rong reminded. Wang Zhong shook his head. He didn't know what to say now. At this time, he suddenly heard rustling sounds coming from the back of his room. Did you hear that? There seems to be someone behind you. Zhao Rong said. Good fellow, you little thief actually dared to sneak into my house. Wang Zhong gave a cold snort and walked out. It was very dark outside the house. The servant girl and the housekeeper's parents had already gone to bed. Wang Zhong strode towards the backyard. Sure enough, Wang Zhong saw a thin and weak figure hiding in the bushes in the backyard. Wang Zhong gradually exerted force in his hand and walked over. He lightly shouted, You're courting death. He stretched out his hand and directly slapped the figure in the bushes. Ouch! The figure lightly groaned and fell to the ground. Lin Wu. Seeing the person who came, Wang Zhong was stunned. Why is it you? Fortunately, I didn't hit you too hard. Otherwise you would have been blown up by me. Wang Zhong frowned and hurriedly helped Lin Wu up. Lin Wu covered her shoulder with a bitter expression. So it's you. I thought it was your housekeeper and the others. I wanted to hide for a while. Are you okay? Wang Zhong touched Lin Wu's shoulder. She grimaced in pain. It hurts. You're too careless. How could this happen? Wang Zhong said helplessly. Let's go. Let's talk in my room. The two of them entered the room. Wang Zhong slightly pulled the clothes on Lin Wu's shoulder. The originally white skin was now bruised. Sorry, I caused you to misunderstand. Lin Wu mumbled. Wang Zhong shook his head. Why did you come in the middle of the night? I couldn't wait. Get me pregnant. Lin Wu made up her mind and simply said. After saying that, she directly lay on the bed and closed her eyes. Come on. I can withstand it. Over the years, Lin Wu had grown up to be slim and elegant. She was 1.7 meters tall, had a graceful figure, and a delicate face. She was a famous little beauty in the nearby street. However, seeing her lying on his bed like this made Wang Zhong's mind a little confused. Xiao Wu, are you sick? Lin Wu opened her eyes. What's sick? Do you think I'm sick? No, it's just that you look like this. Have you forgotten the promise we made when we were young? We are going to get married. Although my mother stopped me, I thought about it. Since we love each other, we have to be together. So if we are together now, my mother won't say anything. Lin Wu, don't make a fuss. Wang Zhong lowered his voice, worried that it was too loud, and would wake up his parents who lived next door. I'm not making a fuss. Lin Wu sat up and pulled Wang Zhong's hand. Today a matchmaker came to my house. Sun Daniu wants to marry me. My mother and the matchmaker also talked about the betrothal gift. Is that so? Wang Zhong sighed. He also had a good impression of Lin Wu. After all, he watched her grow up. He watched her slowly grow from a little brat to a little lowly, and then to the slim and elegant woman she was today. However, he hadn't solved his own problems yet. Naturally, he didn't want to be so fast. Seeing that Wang Zhong didn't move, Lin Wu put Wang Zhong's hand on her stomach. Do you have no feelings for me? Xiao Wu. Wang Zhong was about to speak when Lin Wu covered herself with the quilt. I'm going to sleep first. When tomorrow comes, I should have a child. Wang Zhong frowned. It turned out that this child naively thought that sleeping together was enough. Thinking of this, he was amused. Little girls were so naive. He didn't point it out. He covered himself with the quilt and couldn't help but put his arm around Lin Wu's waist and fell asleep. At night, Lin Wu chatted a lot. These days, she was watched even more closely by her mother, so she could only choose to sneak out when everyone was asleep. Now that her strength had increased a lot, it was very easy for her to do things like climbing over walls. As for Sun Dainyu, that guy often went over to pester her, but Lin Wu refused to see him. Hearing this, Wang Zhong didn't know why, but he felt warm and comfortable in his heart. And when he heard that Sun Dainyu had been pestering Lin Wu shamelessly, he felt inexplicably uncomfortable. Xiaodong, don't worry. I'm yours. I won't marry Sun Dainyu, Lin Wu murmured. Light breathing sounds could be heard in the room. She fell asleep. Wang Zhong couldn't fall asleep no matter how hard he tried. A woman treated him like this. How could he let her down? Of course not. So he had to make plans for the future. I'm going to join the guide team at the age of 15. I must find out what's going on in the outside world. The next day before dawn, Lin Wu stretched herself happily. Well, the rooster is about to crow. I'm going back. Wang Zhong looked at the sky outside. It wasn't bright yet. Do you usually wake up so early? Well, didn't you say to wake up early to practice martial arts? Wang Zhong was slightly surprised. No wonder Lin Wu's progress was good. It seemed that it had something to do with her diligence. I have to leave early. Otherwise, if my parents see that I'm not at home, it will be troublesome. Lin Wu held her stomach and carefully got off the bed. Her appearance was quite strange. Why are you holding your stomach? Wang Zhong looked at Lin Wu and was a little curious. We've already slept for a night. You held my stomach for a night and made me pregnant. So I have to be careful. What if the movement is too intense, and the flesh in my stomach is hurt? Wang Zhong was stunned. He wanted to explain to Lin Wu, but after thinking about it, he gave up. Then you have to be careful. When you go back, how are you going to tell your parents about us? Chapter 127. Speaking of serious matters, Lin Wu thought for a moment and gritted her teeth. My father supports me and my family, but my mother. Sigh. Anyway, I'll make it clear to Sun Dainyu. It's best not to say that. If your mother finds out, she'll be angry. Then what do you think we should do? If there's no other way, I'll ask my father to propose marriage. We can temporarily get engaged. Wang Zhong thought for a moment. This was the only way now. All right then, I'll go back first. I'll send you off. It's still dark outside. Before dawn, the weather is cold, and there are many evil creatures. With me around, evil creatures won't dare to come close. After Wang Zhong finished speaking, he quickly put on his clothes. Let's go. Lin Wu smiled sweetly. You're so good to me. After saying that, she skipped out of the room. Wang Zhong shook his head. In the end, she was still a little girl. Wang Zhong opened the door and the two walked out. At this moment, the sky was just beginning to brighten. There was still a layer of white frost on the flowers and trees in the courtyard. A faint white mist floated in the air. Xiaodong, what do you think our child will be called in the future? Nothing had happened between the two of them, but Lin Wu was caressing her stomach, looking as though she was about to give birth. Wang Zhong found it funny. Wang Zhong could only go along with her words. It depends on the gender. And our child will definitely be able to cultivate qi. When the time comes, he'll be a powerful cultivator. As the two talked, when they were about to reach home, a cry of surprise suddenly came from behind. Xiaowu, why are you with him? Wang Zhong turned his head and saw Sun Dainyu walking over with two slaughtered hens in his hands. Xiaowu, he has a short lifespan. How can you be with him? Aren't you afraid of shortening your lifespan? Dainyu, Xiaodong saved you when you were young. How can you say that about him? Lin Wu stood in front of Wang Zhong and said without showing any weakness. Saving me is one thing. I'm very grateful to him. But this is different. I'm doing this for your own good. Sun Dainyu angrily stomped his feet and showed the two hens in his hands. I wanted to go to your house to give you hens. You're actually with him. No need. I already told the matchmaker yesterday. We're not compatible. Dainyu, you're a good person. But I already have someone. What? Sun Daniu staggered backwards as if he was hit by a heavy blow. You actually like this short-lived person. His spiritual root is only at the second level. Do you want to live like a widow? And I'm already prepared. This. Sun Dania didn't know what to say for a moment. Suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. Xiao Wu, why are you with him so early in the morning? You, where did you come from? Hearing this, Lin Wu blushed. It's none of your business. Sun Daniu wasn't an idiot. Based on the route of Zhao Xiaodong and Lin Wu, and the fact that they were holding hands and going home together, it was obvious that Lin Wu stayed at Zhao Xiaodong's house last night. You're actually so heartless. Sun Daniu angrily roared. How am I heartless? Sun Daniu, I won't argue with you on account that you're my childhood playmate. Now take your hens and go home, Lin Wu said angrily. No, you're really a disgrace to a gentleman. A disgrace to a gentleman. Sun Daniu shouted angrily. Wang Zhong frowned and said, Sun Daniu, Lin Wu and I are already engaged. How is this a disgrace to a gentleman? Sun Daniu looked like a bore. Unexpectedly, he was also somewhat bookish. He continued to shout. Isn't this a disgrace to a gentleman? You're not married yet. How can you do this kind of thing? I feel ashamed for you. As he shouted, a group of people suddenly came from the direction of the city gate. The two people in the lead were holding long swords. Their bodies were covered in blood as they limped over. Looking at the people behind them, Lin Wu and Sun Daniu jumped in fright. The two people were dragging a few ropes in their hands. On the other end of the ropes was a handcart. The handcart was wrapped in straw mats. A few feet were exposed from the straw mats. It was obvious that the two people were dragging corpses. The handcart rumbled towards them. Wang Zhong's eyes were dignified. After being in the city for so many years, he recognized that these people were the guides of the city. In the past, the guides had also lost people. But this time, why did so many people die all of a sudden? Looking at the handcart, there were more than a dozen corpses wrapped in straw mats. Wang Zhong quickly walked over and cupped his hands. Two lords, what happened? The leader was a tall and thin man with a blade. He coldly glanced at them. A large number of evil creatures appeared at the mass grave. They're coming here. I didn't succeed in luring those evil creatures away. They're all dead. Captain, these brats don't understand. Let's go quickly. The evil creatures are coming. They're expected to arrive in 3 days. We have to quickly inform the city lord. Okay. The tall and thin man nodded. The two people dragged the handcart and walked unsteadily. The handcart was still dripping blood. Along the way, the blood dripped onto the ground. There's actually a problem at the mass grave. This is troublesome. Sun Daniu couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Xiaodong, what should we do now? Let's go home first. When the time comes, we'll listen to what the city lord has to say. If there's really a big problem outside the city lord will definitely inform everyone. Wang Zhong said. Zhao Xiaodong, you're out of luck. I remember my father said that when he was young, there was a time when the guides outside the city died. After that, the city lord arranged for a group of 14-year-olds to be the guides. He didn't expect that the 14-year-olds would all die. Then, the 13-year-olds were sent to lead the evil creatures away. Sun Daniu coldly looked at Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong's eyes flashed. Is that so? I have no reason to lie to you. Although you stole the woman I love, you did save me. I, Sun Daniu, am the most reasonable person when it comes to doing things. Therefore, I just want to warn you in advance. If the guide team suffers heavy casualties this time, you know the consequences. Wang Zhong nodded. You guys take care. Sun Daniu took the 2 chickens and directly left. It's okay, Xiaodong, Lin Wu said solemnly. Wang Zhong was speechless for a while and said, You go back. Okay. I'll find a way to secretly come out and accompany you. Lin Wu looked back 3 times with each step and finally walked back to her house. Seeing her enter the house, Wang Zhong went home. Along the way, Wang Zhong pondered. The evil creatures outside the city appeared in the mass grave. The guides suffered heavy casualties. He didn't know what the city lord's mansion should do next. But one thing was for sure. If the city lord's mansion didn't do anything, according to the guides, the evil creatures would attack the city. When that time comes, once they invade Snow City, it would cause even more casualties. At that time, the entire city would be in danger. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.